big news. I have some important news for you.
Interesting news.
It's Blake and Aaron's Spilling the Tea with Sandy.
K-Man's top news headlines of the day from CMR.
Brought to you by J. Michael, fashion for everyone. Good morning, Sandy.
Good morning, Blake. How you doing?
We are good. Happy Thursday.
Yes, gosh, the week is almost over.
I know.
So did we talk about this young man who was sentenced to 21 years for attempted murder?
No, I saw the press release yesterday, but we haven't talked about it.
All right. Well, Luisito Eusebio Hernandez, only 28 years old, who shot his father-in-law twice following an argument about how to feed his child a mango, was sentenced to 21 years for attempted murder on Tuesday. He was also sentenced to 12 years for illegal possession of a firearm. It's pretty wild.
And that happened here.
Yep.
Wow.
In the Cayman Islands.
When did that happen? I don't remember that story of
fighting over mango.
Over a mango.
You know, I was trying to, it was last April, but for some reason, I think this one kind of went under radar just a little bit. But anyway, Hernandez was reportedly feeding his young daughter a mango when his father-in-law told him that the pieces were too big for the child. And that meant that an argument ensued. And then Hernandez threatened to kill his father-in-law. And, you know, the father-in-law threw a bottle, which shattered and injured Hernandez's young daughter. And then Hernandez, went to his residence and returned with a gun and shot his father-in-law twice. So talk about a crazy response.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's been sentenced to 21 years. So people think that, wow, that's quite a strong message about, not trying to shoot and kill people. Good.
It's silly. And now you're,
21 years of your life away from your daughter. Sure. I mean, it won't be a full 21 years, but you know what I mean?
And probably won't be served mango while in prison.
Probably not. So condolences to the family of Mr. Rudy Ebanks. He's former chairman of the board of directors for the Utility Regulation and Competition, OFREG. He's passed away after being ill for some time. He's also a 36-year veteran, former vice president of Cable and Wireless. So he was appointed, you might remember, to the OFREG chair back in 2021. So we extend our condolences to his family.
For sure.
Sad. Yeah. Right. Local seafarers celebrated the third annual Sea Sunday. So this was a fantastic event this past weekend. So congratulations to all of them. It was hosted by the Society of St. Vincent de Paul Cayman Islands and the Cayman Islands Seafarers Association at the Seafarers Hall in Prospect. So the special day, which is observed on the second Sunday in July each year, is a global celebration that gives God thanks for the lives and work of mariners and their families, as well as recognizes their positive impact on international trade. So very, very nice. I love anything to do with the Seafarers Association. They're fantastic. The government has launched a new program to help lower your energy bill, their qualification requirements. But the Ministry of Sustainability and Climate Resilience is launching this program called CHEER, CHEER, which stands for Cayman Home Energy Efficiency Retrofits. Lots of words there. But basically,
they pick the acronym first and then find words to fit that.
I kind of feel like they probably did with this one. But basically, if you're an eligible homeowner struggling with high utility bills, what this is going to do is essentially, try to find out what it is that might be causing your energy bill to be high. So they're going to retrofit the homes after they determine what can be improved to just improve energy efficiency, essentially. So they're waiting on some other organizations to come on board. Resilience Cayman chairperson Jan Gupta is part of this, and others. So congratulations. It's a good initiative. I saw some people complaining that, if they're not a homeowner, this doesn't really help them. But hey, you got different programs, hopefully, that will help different people in different categories. So
yeah,
that's good news. I like it.
All right.
Those are your news headlines for this beautiful Thursday morning.
Hey, by the way, before you go, I don't know if you've noticed over the last 6 to 8 weeks.
Yes.
I've been on a mission to slim down. And so this morning,
looking
good. I reached my 20 pounds mark.
Wow.
I've lost 20 pounds.
That's fantastic. No,
And the
you look
last,
good.
thank you. Yeah, a little slimmer, eating
Yeah.
a little bit better. I was working on my dad bod, which is very easy to do because
Have
I'll
to
just
rein it in.
like describing it quickly. It's like, okay, when your kid is like gets chicken nuggets and fries,
Yeah.
he doesn't eat them all. You don't want to waste it. And then you eat a few here, eat a few there,
Mhm.
overeats, whatever. So
Yeah.
yeah, just
Yeah.
working on being a little bit healthier.
Awesome. No, you look good. You look good. Keep it up.
Thanks. Thank you. Thank you. All right,
Fantastic. 20
this
pounds. That's
20
good.
pounds. I have 10 more to go.
Nice.
So, all right, we'll see you tomorrow for the Friday headlines. All right, have a good
All
day.
right. Have a good one.
And we'll see you on Bobo 89.
All right, folks. We are here. Going to be live in about a couple seconds here. In the meantime, let me just grab my links.
Bigger, better, bolder. The cold, hard truth is taking talk to the next level. Right here on Bobo 89.1 FM, Cayman's Community Radio.
We are still spilling the tea.
And committed to being part of the change that Cayman so desperately needs. Join Sandy Hill weekdays from 7:30 a.m. for Premier Access, Cayman Voices, Truthful Thursdays, and much more. Cayman's #1 talk show is now bigger, better, bolder, and more than talk. Getting results with hot topics, consumer reports, court exposés, and more.
Come to set the record straight. I've come to shine the light on you. Let me introduce myself. I am the cold, hard truth.
Now, from the CMR studio in Grand Cayman,
Live, direct.
it's the cold, hard truth. Now, join the conversation on 345-936-2626.
That number again is
345-936-2626.
Good morning, beautiful people. Happy Thursday. How you guys doing? Such a gorgeous day in the Cayman Islands. I could swear that I heard the helicopter up a little while ago. Anybody else heard the helicopter this morning in the Newlands area, Newlands, Savannah, Lower Valley area? I could swear I just heard it. I heard this kind of ooh. So we always have a running joke around here. Anytime we hear the helicopter up, I'm like, you think they're looking for me? Yeah, they haven't sent the helicopter yet. Knock on wood. Let's not give them any ideas. They might do that next. So yes, I don't know if they're just taking a little tour around, if there's something going on or what's going on. Good morning to Miss Vernita. Miss Irvelin is here. Iva, good morning. She says, good morning, my lovely classmates. I feel like I need to do some stretching today. The calf muscles and the legs feeling a little bit tight. Happy Thursday, Irvelin. Everton is here. Every morning he's like, oh man, look at that. They beat me. You got to get here early. Because look, according to my record here, Miss Vernita was here at 7:04 saying good morning. You got to get up extra early to beat Miss Vernita. She's an early riser. Yeah, somebody says that they're in Crew Road and they heard the helicopter as well. Oh, so maybe it's not my imagination. Cayman's national bird. Flying around. First lady, how you doing, honey chow? Everton is getting a good laugh from Ervelyn. Miss Gina, good morning. Marshall is here. Ria, good morning. Daisy. By the way, big shout out to Colin, Daisy's son. He turned 18 this week. He had a birthday. I can't believe little Colin's 18. I was like, what? Colin? No, I think I got that wrong. Daisy, tell me that I got it wrong. He is a super fan of CMR from day one. He has just loved this platform from when he was 12. Oh my gosh, where does the time go? Y'all need to tell me. Good morning to the beautiful Miss Brenda. How are you? She says, God bless you, news providers. Thank you so much. Miss Felicia. Robert is here. Leroy is in the house. El Ray says, I'm looking for my first 5 pounds. In case you missed it, this morning, Blake was saying he's lost 20 pounds. El Ray, I'm going to tell you how he's been losing it, though. He's not quite doing it the same way. But nonetheless, kudos on him. Now I don't know if it's 5 pounds, El Ray, sorry, it might be more than that. I definitely noticed in my midsection, things are slimmer, and some pants and stuff are fitting a little bit better. You know, Caribbean people like the banquet, so you try not to lose too much of that, but you don't really have a choice. You can't pinpoint where you're going to lose it from. When you lose it, you lose it. But I do feel like, you know, I'm putting on some pants, and when I've been shopping lately, I've actually gone down a whole size, honey chill. So we're going to keep moving. I'm going to soon get back on the bike. It's been getting a little bit dusty over there and not being used, but I have not forgotten. I got my wireless mic system, and yeah, I'm going to start pedaling again. Jerez, buenos dias. Miss Alice is here. Angela Leroy says, what coffee you drinking? Who, me? I don't drink coffee, honey chill. I only drink tea. By the way, big shout out to Paul from Bermuda. Is Paul in the house? Paul sent me an absolutely lovely Bermuda mug and a little green of their sand. So maybe tomorrow I'll drink out of that mug. Appreciate it. Yes, indeed. Brenda, thank you for joining. I'm just trying to pull up my WhatsApp here. What's up? I don't know. I use this app to have multiple WhatsApp chats in it. And it's such a pain, to be honest. I swear half the time, it's just not working. I'm like, why am I wasting my money on this app? I mean, the features are nice. If they would actually work more consistently, I would be much happier. Big shout out to all my customers, honey chill. I had to go see a customer yesterday. We were talking about these ISPs. Oh, I don't know what's going on with Logic this week, but something kind of fishy been going on with them that has been impacting my customers. And, you know, I can't even bother reporting any complaints anymore because I feel like it doesn't really go anywhere. So what we've done is we just found a workaround that works perfectly fine for my customers. But, you know, my older, more senior customers may not always be so tech savvy. So sometimes I have to pay them a house visit to get them sorted out. Nothing complicated. But when they see, boom, Sandy shows up, she tweaks something, and then all of a sudden everything's back to working perfect. They're like, do you think Logic is doing something on purpose? And I have to look at them and say, honestly, I don't know. I don't know if it's on purpose, if it's just bad, whatever, mojo. I have no clue. I can't answer the why. I only know it's them. So I don't know why it's happening. I only know that it is happening. And of course, we have a fix and a workaround, which is the most important thing. Rosedale, good morning. Alice, good morning. Thank you, Miss First Lady. She says, I'm looking lovely today. Thank you. Thank you. Leroy, talking about I was racing a car yesterday. Not really. I was in the speed limit. I was driving the speed limit. So y'all might have seen Mama driving around a little sporty car recently. And it seems like somebody had me laughing because they sent me a chat conversation. Now, y'all know that nothing is private when you're in these groups, right? Y'all are in WhatsApp groups. You be trying to send stuff to each other. And I can tell you that nothing said in those groups are private. And so a lot of times I get snippets of them. Big shout out to Cayman Forward. Speaking of things that are not private. So this person, I don't know who this was, says, I thought y'all was trolling when Anna said that Sandra from Mall Road have one of the new Type R's. This person with this particular phone number, I won't read their phone number. They must have thought that was funny. And a few other people, Giuseppe and other people, says, Giuseppe had me laughing. She says she's going to get in people business faster. Pablo, Giuseppe, good morning to all of you who are in this Cayman Traffic Awareness Group. Jojo, and then Giuseppe. Oh, is that Giuseppe? Somebody responded to Giuseppe and says, as long as she don't stall. Oh my goodness. Then somebody else Alex is like, oh, anybody caught her stalling out yet? Y'all don't even know, honey child. I've been driving a stick longer than some of y'all been alive. Know your place, honey. Brings back good memories though, from when I was in university learning how to drive a stick, mostly self-taught. I had about 5 minutes of instructions and okay, this is how the gears work and da-da-da-da. But I told y'all that little Arab man was trying to feel out my legs. So I had to tell him to get out the car, please. I said, let me borrow your car, sir, but you need to get out because I don't want you touching me. And I got it. I got the basics. Now I just need practice. And so we would go out late in the early morning hours, late at night, early morning hours. This was New Tampa before it was New Tampa, but the road infrastructure was there. Beautiful, pristine highways with nobody on them. Oh my God, does that even happen anymore? And we could drive for miles and miles and miles and there was nobody on them. And so we would just go out driving and practicing. I taught myself and then I taught my boyfriend at the time how to drive a stick because I figure, listen, it's one of those things that everybody should know how to drive a stick in life. But, in this day and age, most people now being born will never even have the opportunity to drive a standard car ever. Because most cars just, now we got self-driving cars. They don't even want you touching the steering wheel. So it's pretty crazy. But yes, folks, I know how to drive a stick and I'm not stalling. The only difference with this car is it has 6 speeds and all the cars I think I've driven in the past only had 5. So it's just one more. But I think I don't really see the need to ever go into 6th gear. Here in Cayman, it's like, So, it's fun driving a stick once there's no traffic. Traffic is a real killer because, oh my God, you're just like, stop and go in 1st gear, stop and go in 2nd gear. It's like, no, honey child. Hey, Paul, love the mug. Thank you. Keisha, Miss Olive is here. Coracita, Richard. Johan says, who going to blaze up? Who you getting blazed up today? Oh, Johan, you just in time, honey child. Get the popcorn ready. Wee. I know, right? 18 years old. Oh my gosh. Graduation is next year, May. He also got his driver's license. Woo! Colin, going places, honey. Yay! I remember when I got my driver's license. I did driver's ed though, because my aunt was trying to teach me how to drive. And I was like, oh, honey child, this is not working out for neither one of us. Let me go do driver's ed. So yes. I was actually showing you guys the dog. Not y'all were focused on the stick shift, but I was actually showing you guys the dog. Zeus, isn't he just adorbs? He was going to the groomers yesterday. He came back with a little bow in his hair because apparently, I didn't even really know this, but because he has longer hair. When people pick him up, they're like, this dog is all hair. He has longer hair, but they don't cut a dog's hair. I don't know if it's like, is Melanie Hulsel's thing, is it the first year? Like, how long do you wait before you cut the hair? So they actually just let it grow out. They're not going to cut his hair or anything. So he's been going to the groomers, like getting his teeth brushed. And that's important to make them know you can put your finger in their mouth and they're not going to be bothered by it. So he's been getting his teeth brushed. He's been getting like his nails trimmed, and they trim around his little bum and his eyes and stuff like that. And so he I think because the hair in the top is growing longer, they decided to put it in a little bow and, whatever. So when Gigi saw him yesterday, oh my God, she was so tickled pink. I mean, she was just like, Zeus is not a girl. What's he doing with a bow in his hair? And then she was just like, but he's so cute with it. I can't get over how cute he is. He really is so cute. Like, seriously. So what can I say? We just love him to pieces. He's adorable. Yeah, so he's got this little bow in his hair. It fell out last night, of course. And the rubber band is still there, but the little bow fell out. So this morning I was trying to put it back in. Now I'm like, listen, honey, chill. It's bad enough that I have a daughter whose hair I can't manage and do anything with. Now I'm gonna get a dog who has hair that I can't do anything with. I'm trying to put the bow back in. It's like all crooked. I'm like, oh Lord. Marshall says, I taught myself how to drive a stick shift car back in the day when Palmdale was nice and quiet. Oh yeah? Well, those days are long gone. Morning, K-Man Detailing. Darlene says, here in the UK, you have to learn in a stick unless you're disabled or require special needs or assistance. Really? Do you guys have that many stick shift cars in the UK? Okay, that's interesting. Because they're not really manufacturing that many cars like that anymore. Huh. Oh, that's weird, actually. Okay. Wow, that has me even thinking like, wow. All right, Child with Purpose. Good morning. WhatsApp number. The show number. Wait a minute. Is that King? Is that you? No, that's not you. Who's Child with a Purpose? Your little profile looks like King. 936-2626. Leroy says, bring Zeus on the show. Aw, I have to see where he is this morning. He might be chilling out in his cage. Talk about Leela, Alberta, Rossshire, more real Cayman history and culture. I need to interview one of her family members. You guys know one of my BFFs is actually her great granddaughter, Miss Irma. And so, I think she knows a lot about her, and she was very, very pivotal and instrumental in getting her to national hero status and stuff. So Theo, good morning. Kathy says most of them. So I guess in the UK, things are a little bit different. Leroy says he loves the stick. You know what? I often think about, because I've pretty much only driven a stick on relatively flat land. I think of places like Jamaica where it's really hilly. Some driveways, I'm like, I don't know how y'all get up and down that driveway. Oh my gosh. We did one. Marlon was visiting his friend. I mean, going down was so steep. And then when it's time to come back up, you had to do it and maneuver it in a particular way. There's Zeus getting a walk outside. We'll bring him in after. I'll tell Miss Stacy to bring him. The problem is every morning now, Gianna wants Zeus to go out and go driving with her. So let's see if he is free. Zeus apparently has a very busy schedule. So let's see if he's free to come in the studio today. He may not be. But yeah, what can I tell you? Driving a stick is fun. And you know what else? Driving a faster car is fun. I'm a mom and I'm in a mom car, and I'm going to be getting my little SUV back here in a minute. And so, those cars are made for comfort and space and the luxury of all kind of tech and stuff like that. So this is my midlife crises ride. Really, it's supposed to be Marlon driving this, but I've been driving it and he hasn't really had a chance to get behind the wheel. But it's just, it's fun. And I must tell you, when I get on that interstate and I kind of, put it in third gear, next thing I know, I'm like, ooh, I feel a little need for speed. And then I have to remember, oh yeah, but you can't afford that ticket. So slow down. Oh my goodness. Good morning, Miss Marva. Stick shift is 80% of the cars, especially rentals in the UK. Really? It's the opposite. I don't know if I told you guys about this or not, but There's an article a couple months back about the dying, the whole standard versus automatic. It's dying out. There was a whole article about it. I forget who wrote the article now, but maybe 5% of cars manufactured now have, let me see if I can find that article. But maybe they were just talking about, maybe they were just talking about the US or something. But yeah, you can hardly find a car anymore in the US. I mean, certain specific brands, I guess, will still have that. Here we go. I was reading this last year, August. So here's a little interesting fact. In 2000, more than 15% of new and used cars sold by the auto retailer CarMax came with stick shifts. By 2020, that figure had dropped to 2.4% of cars. Among the hundreds of new models for sale in the United States last year, only about 30 can be purchased with a manual transmission. But I guess Europe may be still different. So electric cars now account for about more than 5% of car sales, and they don't even have gearboxes. What a thing, huh? And then there are rumors that Mercedes-Benz plans to retire manuals entirely by the end of next year, which would be this year, all around the world, in a decision driven partly by electrification. Volkswagen is said to be dropping its own by 2030. So Volkswagen will no longer, after 2020, make any manual transmission vehicles. And other brands are supposed to be following. So it's been a niche market in the US for a while, but it looks like it's going to be coming extinct very, very soon. The people who carried this article was The Atlantic, and the article was called The End of Manual Transmission, if you're interested in reading all about it. Let me see if I can get Miss Stacy to bring Zeus. I don't think she saw my message. Hello. I don't know. Did she see my message? All right. We'll bring him in the studio today. He might have some barking news for us. Missed many lives in downtown London with these stick shifts, which I could. You missed many lives. What do you mean you missed many lives? You missed like almost killing people, or what? What does that mean? Miss Iva says, yes, it's true. Thank God. When I moved to the UK, I could drive standard, so it was easy for me. Peter says you can learn on an automatic in the UK, but then can only drive an automatic after passing your tests. If you pass your test on a stick shift, then you can drive both types. Oh, I see. So how do they know if you're going to be driving a standard or an automatic, though? Like if you go rent a car, is like a different license that you show that says, oh, you passed your test on a standard, so then you're good to go. How does that work? How do they know? That's interesting. Okay. Miss Dean. Nicola. Oh, hello, Nicola. Okay. Good to see you. Al Ray says, yes, the manual transmission is not dying in the UK, at least not at this time. It's very interesting. All right. Charles, good morning. Charles says, uphill is the handbrake, clutch, and soft gas accelerating. The handbrake becomes your brake pedal, going uphill when moving off. But these cars don't have the traditional handbrake anymore. They have like a little lever that you press, and that's your brake. Good morning, Miss Marjorie. Looks like you found us this morning, Miss Marjorie. How did you find us? Everything's good? She said she couldn't find us on Facebook the other day. So it's super easy, folks. All you do is go to the Facebook page, and Normally we're right there at the top because we're streaming every morning. But when you go to the Facebook page, there's also a section up at the top that says video. And if you ever want to go back and watch shows, that's the link that you would click. I'm going to just show you because I think sometimes y'all don't know these things. So it's good to know. Let me see here now. I'll show you this screen over here. I've got multiple screens. So yeah, so you've got this screen here. Just scroll all the way. Let me just refresh the screen. That would be easier than just keep scrolling. So when you're all the way up at the top of the page, click on the tab that says video. And then you see, there we are live right there. Shows you right there. There we are. And then underneath, it'll show you latest videos. There's Territories Talk, which we're going to play on tomorrow's show for you guys. And then we have like playlist where we kind of range it. So here's like Premier Access, the Cold Hard Truth, the Daily Buzz segments, which we no longer do because y'all don't look like you wanted to listen to the Daily Buzz. So I'm like, hey, let's not waste time. We got important things to do. Cayman Voices, which by the way is a resounding hit. The last one had over 21,000 views. The Old Time Corner from June, over 21,000 views. Big shout out to our sponsors who make that segment possible, including the DART organization and UCCI. Isn't that fantastic? Y'all love history and I love bringing it to you. Now listen, for Cayman Voices, if you know of anyone, seafarers, business owners, your little granny sitting in her rocking chair has a story for Sandy, right? Call me. Let's hook it up because we need to record these amazing stories. Like I said, the individual stories become our collective history as a people. So by all means, I did one lady this weekend, Miss Whitaker in Northside. She was really quiet, you know, but you know how your grandma or your grandpa sitting there telling you all these stories? Honey, child, just call me. I will just sit there with my little camera and listen to them till the cows come home or the chickens start roosting. What do the chickens do? They crow and they roost? I don't even know. Whatever the chickens do, making a bunch of noise. So yes, I absolutely love those segments. And yeah, just call me and I'll come see your people. Natasha says, I miss my stick shift, entire life manual cars for 4 years. I've been steering a car, no fun. Aw, it is a different vibe. I mean, I had an Integra like quite a few cars ago now that I'm thinking about it. And then after that, I got the CRV, which was obviously automatic and stuff. So I haven't been in a manual car for a minute. So, but I remember the day I went and I test drove it with the little guy there. Big shout out to Sean Whitaker, by the way, and Taylor over at Car City. I think Taylor was surprised. I don't know. Some of y'all men act like women can't drive. Y'all shady boots. So I remember Taylor saying to me, Sean was impressed with your manual driving skills. I'm thinking to myself, why would he be impressed? I mean, did he really think I couldn't drive? What? So he was like, oh, you were smooth like butter. And I said, well, thank you. It's like riding a bicycle. Comes right back to you. Leanna says, many do not know how to drive stick and Cayman, less Caymanians in the heavy duty industry for trucking and equipment. Are most big trucks manual transmission? Oh, y'all better go learn then, honey child. Some good jobs there that you might be missing out. So thank you, honey. Good morning. El Ray says stick would have the old style handbrake lever. Yes, they don't come with those anymore, my dear child. They're fancy now. Good morning, Miss Morna. Miss Marjorie says that's what I did. That's why I did not drive myself. Sorry, in Jamaica. I hate stick shift, but I drove my dad's trucks. I drove pretty foot style. Pretty foot style. What's pretty foot style? So you didn't like driving a stick shift, Miss Marjorie? I must admit that it does require a little bit more of your brain power. It's automatic in the sense that, your brain will just do it up to a point. but I think you're more focused on driving when you're in a manual transmission car. Miss Iva says, do you know that you cannot transfer your Cayman driver's license in the UK? You have to drive on it. You can drive on it for a year, and then you have to sit a whole test, but then you can come here and you can do the transfer. Well, Miss Iva, I think that here our laws are a little bit too slack when it comes to who can get a driver's license and what tests they have to take. Hence why every single day we are the champions of car accidents. I have never seen so many car accidents. I mean, honestly, I go to Miami, I'm in Jamaica, I'm in Timbuktu. I haven't been there yet, but you know what I mean? I don't see New York. I don't see the accidents that I do here in Cayman. Now, part of that I get, it's because Cayman is so small that every accident I probably do know about, or 99% of them. Whereas in New York, if somebody has an accident up 8th Street and I'm on 12th Street, of course, I'm not going to know about it. I get that component of it, to be fair to Cayman. But still, we have a lot of accidents here for such a small population. So I think y'all just need to learn how to drive. And in order to ensure that people know how to drive, we need to start having more stringent driving tests. I'm all for it. All right. Leroy says automatic is for lazy people. Paul says it's indicated in the back of your license that you can drive a manual transmission. Oh, wow. The things you learn every single day. That's fantastic. Nice. All right, Miss Darlene says you can exchange your CI license if you're residing in the UK for under 5 years. Oh, otherwise they want you to take a test. Theo says drink a lot in Cayman. That is different. That's the difference. Oh, yes, I agree that we got a lot of people here, but we're trying to get all sauced up. Speaking of accidents, is this an accident? What is this? Crew Road. What is that? Is that an accident that you're sending me? This person says, I took my driving test in the UK, had to be on a manual car. UK and Europe favor manual cars. Not sure I see them no longer offering manual cars here. Yeah. Oh, we got some Digicel news this morning. This person says, yes, girl, these mad people all over the streets and walking out in front of you. Oh, by the way, I have a video to show you on how the street lights and a roundabout would work and help control the flow of traffic. Oh, I'm sure they work in other places. I'm just saying here, I'm not too sure. Because, you know, like I just said, we got people who shouldn't even be driving, honey jail. Anywho, let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about the main topic that I know a lot of you are here for: begging, Caymanian beggars. I don't even know where we're going to begin with this one, but we're going to talk about a situation this weekend. So this young lady by the name of Carla, this weekend started. Well, she posted in the Women in Cayman group that she was looking for some clothes and stuff for her kids. All right, we need to backpedal quite a bit with Carla. Now, first of all, I don't really give two cahoots. Y'all listen carefully to me. Whose feelings are going to get hurt this morning? Sometimes y'all need your feelings hurt. The cold hard truth isn't meant to placate your feelings. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings on purpose. I just don't care. So, you know, if your feelings are hurt, I think you need to check yourself and don't really take it out with me. All right. Sometimes, you know, I try to be sensitive. I go out of my way. When I'm dealing with children, I love me some children. I try to be sensitive with them because they're kids. They don't have the life experience yet. You know, they haven't had the opportunity to toughen up a little bit. You know, so I'm all about giving kids hugs. I told you I believe in gentle parenting. I hate when y'all be yelling at these kids and going on like mad people around children. I'm going to beat you. I'm like, oh, please don't do that. I brought you into this world. I'm going to take you out. I'm like, not really. Y'all crazy. Listen to your children, talk to them, hear what they have to say. Sometimes they get in their feelings and they don't even know why they're in their feelings. They don't even know why they're upset. We're adults and sometimes we have a hard time regulating our feelings. You ever get mad and you don't even know why? You're just like, I'm just in one of those moods today. Imagine kids with no life experience yet. The littlest things can hurt their little feelings. They're different. They get a hall pass from me. Y'all big, hardback adults don't exactly get a hard pass. So Carla posts, I'm going to show y'all the post here, asking for help. Now, this is a new fad, and I want to talk about it. We get it here in CMR, and I have to sometimes think about whether or not I want to post someone asking for help. It comes in different forms. So a lot of people, I need an apartment. I'm looking for a job. Those types of things where you're trying to better yourself and not asking for people to just give you something for free. That's different. Like, oh, I need an NAU apartment. That's exactly why we created the community page for those types of posts. Yes, you need help. You need an apartment. You need a job. The community page is ideal for that. When people keep begging for freeness, right? We all have lived through difficult times to whatever varying extent, right? I've had my growing up in poverty, not in university, trying to finish that college degree, oftentimes not knowing where my next meal was coming from, wasn't sure how tuition was going to get paid. I understand the struggles, okay, in a real way. And that's why when I look at some of these lazy, no good women, I say to them, why you keep having children? You're already struggling with one. Why are you in number 5? So I have no sympathy for you because I've been in your position and I've chosen, honey, child, I'm not having any children to bring children into this situation right now. I've got to improve my plight in life before I start having babies. Yeah. Now, I'm not telling y'all not to have sex, Listen very, very carefully to me because they're two very different things. You can go out there and fornicate all you want, but be responsible. And you can be responsible. When you're a child number 5, number 4, number 3, I don't have much sympathy for you. And then talking about you pregnant again with the next one. And you want Sandy to send out, or you need help. Do y'all know the embarrassing situation that puts me in? Because when I send out those messages, oh, this single mother of 3 with another one on the way is looking for help. Everybody messages me and says to me, Sandy, why is she having another child? You actually expect me to help this person? And I'd be like, oh, Lord, have mercy. Can you find a little dime in your heart? And people be like, no, these people need to be more fiscally responsible, make better decisions. But once the kids are here and they know that children tug at people's hearts, when children are here, what are you going to do? You can't push them back in. They're already here. And the saddest part is you do not want children to suffer because of irresponsible adults. But this is a catch-22 situation because you know what? Those same people know that. That's why they keep popping children out because they can use that as their meal ticket. Who's going to turn away a starving child? Nobody in their right mind. But we also have to recognize when people are using children as a pawn. So this Carla Scott, right? Talking about she was introduced by a friend to this group, Women in Cayman, by a friend, and she wants to share her story. Well, let's see what her story supposedly is. I'm a single mother of 3 boys, ages 9, 12, and 13. They recently moved back to Cayman after being away with their father in England for a year. Okay. My kids are all Caymanian born to both Caymanian parents. Besides the year that they were gone, they did all their schooling through the government school system here in Cayman. I don't even know what that has to do with anything. Like she shares certain details. I'm like, huh? What does that have to do with what you really get into? But anyway, I'm only working part-time, about 25 to 30 hours every 2 weeks, making about $300 a fortnight. I applied to NAU for food assistance and for uniforms and school supplies. And then it got cut off. The women in Cayman group eventually removed this post because they received so many complaints about her. But someone messaged me and they said that you need to put her, you know what, on blast. Sandy, her kid's not even in Cayman. They reside on the BRAC. Well, people had a field day with that comment because they were like, isn't Cayman BRAC part of Cayman? Yes, it is. But I think everybody with a little bit of common sense understand what the person was trying to say is that she's in Grand Cayman and the kids might be in Cayman BRAC. Turns out I actually understand that the kids are here in Grand Cayman, and this time she might actually have the kids. Now, the interesting thing about Carla is I've actually had some experience with Carla. And so it is necessary for me to share my experience with Carla because right away, when we posted this, y'all were like, oh, y'all just need to give people a chance and this and that. And these single mothers, they're out here begging and y'all judging them. They're not gonna beg anymore. She needs to stop begging. Let me tell y'all straight up. This is one that I have no sympathy for. And I can tell y'all without fear of contradiction that she is using and abusing people in their good nature. She needs to stop begging. Yeah? How do I know this? Because I have personal experience with Carla. Years ago, I cannot remember exactly when it was. Pre-COVID for sure. Might have been 2019 even. I don't even know. Years ago. I was in Pasadora Place because I remember her coming there and collecting the 3-4 bags of stuff of donated uniforms that we collected for her. Y'all gonna listen to me carefully this morning. Because every single person who posted up about, we feel sorry for her, and y'all being too harsh. Y'all need to go take several seats in the back of the classroom because you knoweth not what you speaketh. Okay? She came to me messaging with the same hard luck story. The only difference was the boys were a different age, and at that time, she had no job whatsoever. So I said, okay, I'll help you. I don't know who Carla is. I don't know who these people are. People are like, oh, she's so smart. I don't care how smart she is. If she's lazy and if she can't keep her legs closed and not keep having children, I don't care how smart she is. She's not using her smarts in the right way, apparently. So I said, all right. Let me see how we can help. So I sent out messages on her behalf. Y'all know I've had my WhatsApp group forever, from before CMR even started. And everybody's like, oh yeah, we'll help. Oh, this poor mother. One person said to me, Sandy, let me ask you a question. Based on the description that you have just provided, is this person Carla Scott? And I was like, what? How would you know that? I mean, I didn't think, I'm sure there's lots of women that came out who have 3 children, blah, blah, blah. This person worked for one of our government agencies that assist people. And they said, let me tell you something. Do not help her. I was flabbergasted. I'm like, what do you mean? They said, Sandy, the woman only uses the system. Everybody at NAU know her. She is a user, an abuser of NAU, DCF, all the services, blah, blah, blah. I was like, what? No. They said, listen, yeah, don't you be fooled by this situation. All right. So I thought about it and I said, oh Lord, look, I messaged Carla and I said, Carla, I have gotten some information about you that leaves me a little bit concerned. I had a conversation with her. Oh, Miss Sandy, these people, they just be talking this and that and blah, blah, blah. And I'm really genuine. I really need help. And I said, okay. I said, listen, now this is how I see it, right? I don't know you, but I'm willing to help you. But what I'm going to tell you is sometimes help only comes once. And you have got to be prepared, yes, to help yourself. These people say you're out in the streets and your number one concern is not your children. It's helping Jamaican men through marriages of convenience and their ability to be able to stay in this country and get some kind of benefit off of you. And that you more concerned about taking care of Jamaican men than your own children. Talking about their Caymanians. No, Miss Sandy, you know, this, that, and the next thing, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay. I said, please, I am begging you, young lady, turn your life around. You don't keep getting a free handout in life. Opportunities will stop coming your way. You understand? You've got to recognize that people get sick and tired of the same story over and over and over again and helping the same people over and over again. You have got to be prepared to do your part. Oh, yes, Miss Sandy, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I said, all right, we're going to help her. And we did. Uniforms. I even went as far as helping her get a job. Big shout out to the folks there at McRuss. They reached out. They said, Sandy, we saw your post about this young lady. Is she looking for a job? And I said, she should be. She says she's unemployed. They hired Carla and gave Carla a job. It's not for lack of Carla having any intelligence, because they actually liked Carla. And they were like, you know, this young lady has potential. Well, having potential is one thing. Doing something with your potential is a whole other cup of tea. Well, y'all can probably guess by now how this story played out. She didn't last for very long in the job. All kind of excuses. Oh, I can't get to work. Can't do. And people say to me, yeah, she can't get to work, but she can get to Carnival this weekend. And I said, you see, it's people like Carla who make it bad on all of you who genuinely need help, because people are less inclined to help you. When they hear stories like this, when they see people like her always out here begging for help and abusing and misusing the situation. I said, okay. Then she came back again for help. But you know what they do? And it's kind of funny, because when I was searching my my WhatsApp messages, I realized that at some point she had messaged me again back in, was it 20? Hold on here now, I'm going to tell y'all. Maybe 2020 or 2019, but she messaged again after that. And somebody said to me, Miss Sandy, hold on a second. This not the same woman you had helped last time? This was September of 2021. After I'd gotten her a job, after I'd given her this uniform assistance, blah, blah, blah. Look at what somebody sent me. Because she messaged me from a new number. That's what these young people, they think they're smart, you know. And they don't put their name on the WhatsApp number, so they figure, oh, you don't know who they are. And so I screenshot it and says, anybody knows this number, whatever. And this is one of the messages I got. This person said, is it Carla Scott you're talking about? Because rolling her eyes, sis was selling off stuff that I donated to her on Facebook. So somebody else donated to her. And what was she doing? Selling it to get money. And this is what these jokers be out in the streets doing. So listen to me, Carla. Then she want to play this hard luck story. Oh, sorry. Oh, I don't know if I want to accept any help because y'all being so mean to me. Carla, you are a big, hard back woman with 3 boys, and you need to get your life together. No one is here any longer to hold your hand and feel sorry for you and your poor life decisions. I don't care if you have your kids in this moment If you didn't have them before, somebody said they weren't with you before, they were staying with your mother. It's one bag of mixed up story. The point is, people keep helping you and keep giving you an opportunity, and you're not doing your part by all accounts. And that is where I have a beef with you. Okay? People are getting sick and tired of helping people who cannot and will not help themselves. Every time you go out spending money on a Jamaican man, that's money you could be using for your children. You're married to one and you're not even with him. I hope immigration paying attention. Because these marriages of convenience also mean that a lot of Caymanian children are going to be at a disadvantage. Yeah. All kind of people start messaging about this, Carla Scott. Oh, but Sandy, hold on, you know. See? Messages going back to 2021. I can't even read to some of y'all some of the things, or let y'all hear some of the things that people are saying about this Carla. All I will tell you is clearly her priorities are completely off. And no, people are not going to sit back and help you with their hard-earned money that they have to get up every day and work for. Girl, you have got to get up. You have got to go to work. You have got to do your part. Set an example for these boys. There's a difference between a handout and a helping hand or hand up in life. You clearly believe in handouts. So those of y'all feeling sorry for her and commenting about, oh, mental health and CMR is so mean, and why y'all being mean to her? No, Miss Sandy, how you should be nice to her. Y'all are crazy. Here's what another person had to say. Good evening, Miss Sandra. Please keep my identity anonymous. This Scarlett Scott you just posted that asked for help from WIC page seems like a scammer. I don't know her personally, but I bumped into her a couple of times during the pandemic. I was working at the HSA when she came to ask for help to feed her kids, always using those poor kids, and I gave her some cash to help. Then a colleague came to me and told me to ignore her as she's a lazy liar woman who tricks everyone, and a lot of people knows her ways. Also, my kids go to government school, and they're very helpful with the families, especially when it comes to free food, uniforms, school supplies. So her post is really unbelievable. I was about to comment on her post earlier when it was removed. For sure, the admins were told, sad life. Well, her sad life is really and truly not going to be our problem. She has got to do better. If you already have 3 children, honey child, you should not even be entertaining these no good men who add nothing of value to your life. If they don't already have a job and they can't bring you some income into your household to help raise your children, and they're good stepfathers or whatever, why are you jumping on them and marrying them and dating them and going out with them? Because you're married to one and dating many others. I don't even know if the 2 married people are staying together. That's called a marriage of convenience. WORC. When you're told about these marriages of convenience, y'all actually need to do something about it. Everybody this side of the Mississippi knows that Carla is not staying with that man, and that's not a bona fide relationship. He's out there dating whoever the hell he wants, and she's out in these streets dating whoever she wants. How can that be a marriage that is going to get somebody status? Now, somebody just says, good morning. Is she clear skin and fat? If so, she's a big gambler. Well, I can show y'all her picture. Y'all make me laugh. Tell me she's clear skin and fat. Ooh, Kimanians, honey Jill. Yes, she's clear skin, and yes, she's fat. The one thing that people also know about her is that she has some sort of a gambling problem. When y'all think about legalized gambling, please remember people like Carla. She already has a gambling problem when it ain't legal. Imagine if it's legal, what's she gonna be doing with all the money y'all donating to her? So this was her messaging me back in September of 2021, looking for help again. And of course, my poor little brain, because I help so many people, I gotta be honest, half the time I can't even remember who the hell, not like I'm keeping track or whatever, right? But I'm like, she kind of looks familiar. But you see, they put on these filters and they be fooling you with these filters. So I'm looking at her going, she looks familiar. So I sent out my WhatsApp group saying, hey, folks, who is this woman? And everybody's like, Sandy, you got the worst memory ever. That is Carla Scott, who you already helped before. What's going on now? And I said, oh, boy. Oh, Miss Sandy, I need more school uniforms. I need more vouchers, more food vouchers. Again? You again? I had one that keep coming to me every month for food vouchers. And I said, honey, child, please tell me what you're doing with your life. We need a permanent fix to your situation, not a temporary one. Why do you never have food? What is really going on here? Why don't you have a job? These are the questions that I have to ask, right? Because honestly, they require an answer. So, Carla TD, you need to give me some answers yet today. And I see her poor mama jumping in the comment section trying to defend this bad behavior. Y'all need to go take several seats. Tell your sister to stop gambling away whatever money people give her. So she got time to be posting up Happy Father's Day to some no good man, another Jamaican. Happy Father's Day to the best stepfather for my kids. Is he really the best stepfather for your kids? Because if that is so, why are you out in these streets having to beg for your children? What contribution exactly is he making? Because he don't look like he getting no Stepfather of the Year award based on what I've heard. Trying to look good on social media does not win you any points in the real world. How is he contributing to the welfare of your children? The best stepfather would ensure that you're not out in these streets having to beg for simple things. If he has to work 4 or 5 jobs to support you and your children, that's what the best stepfather award looks like. It does not look like a man that you have to be taking care of and hugging up and kissing up and posting on social media just for a couple social media points and a few likes. Folks, this is the foolishness that is happening right here on our little small island. So y'all have to forgive me if I do not have any sympathy for people like this. And she's not the only one. Remember the other scammer woman who was begging for baby clothes, keep lying to people, but she's pregnant and this, that, and the next thing. Come to find out she's never even had a child in her life. Oh, she's adopting a baby. She always had some excuse. And they utilize these pages. I can't remember her name now, but somebody's own Pinchman remind me of her name. They utilize, oh, here she is. Alleged baby scammer being investigated by police. This is back in 2020. What's her name again? Letitia Leanne Pearson, Nee Thompson. She's got about 5 social media accounts, and she is constantly changing her name to evade, detection. But they utilize these groups like Women in Cayman, etc., in order to have access to a large number of people that they could hoodwink. Because they figure, oh, well, these expat women, they don't have a clue. They don't know who I am. Let me put up a little profile picture with makeup or a filter and look good. Oh, I'm adopting a baby. Or I've taken in this poor abandoned child left in the trash can. That's what this Leanne woman was doing. She had so many baby stories that I could even keep up. Nothing but lies. I mean, it's just unbelievable. But they're looking to tug at the heartstrings of good people. So this foolishness has got to stop. Rachel says this sounds like an episode from Benefits Britain. Ooh, is that a show? Honey child, we need one of them shows in Cayman. So this person says, yep, that's her. Any gambling place you can find her. She used to sell the Jamaican numbers too. Always with a Jamaican. What a mess. This other person says she needs to use birth control the patch, the pill, injection, anything. Well, thank God she hasn't had a child in at least 9 years, if the youngest one is 9 years old. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, folks, we just seriously, no one is going to put up with this. All right. So we do have our guest waiting. Tiz, I'm coming right to you. Good morning, Damaris, joining us from New York. Miss Alba's here. Child with a Purpose, Nicola, said there's so many different family planning methods to protect you from getting pregnant. Trust me, people just need to use them. Ransford, I can't even believe your comment. That is funny. Vanessa says, thank you. Stop having children that you can't afford. Leanna says, any politicians doing back to school giveaways? Oh, don't worry. They will soon be doing that. Mm-hmm. Let me see. Morning, Andy, joining us from La Ceiba. Marianne says, true. Everton say, yep, she'll work for 3 days. I mean, listen, I personally don't get it. Who wants to, but I mean, it's a different mentality, you see? I mean, I can't imagine living off of begging people. I would be so embarrassed. Able-bodied, smart young lady, get yourself some counseling if you have, trauma issues. Stay away from certain men and get a job and really work. So I understand she says she only works 25, 30 hours every other week or whatever. She's got some job out on the waterfront now, supposedly. Don't know how long that one's going to last for. But, back in the day, Carla, let me give you a little bit of advice. We come from parents who grew up in poverty, who didn't have very much. And what they did have was 3 or 4 jobs. They were out there hustling every which way that they could to put food on the table for their kids without having to be out in the streets begging people. We are quickly shifting into a begging type of community. And I must tell you that it is very, very disturbing. Somebody was telling me how a guy came into their office a few weeks back, come in with his little walker and his leg all bandaged up, talking about he needs $20,000, begging for other people, blah, blah, blah. Then when he leaves, he packs up the walker, puts it in the back of his car, and drives away perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with him. I was like, he sounds like Makiva Bush with this walking stick. Everybody knows Makiva Bush don't need no damn walking stick. And he walked around with the walking stick to get sympathy for y'all who might have to sit on a jury and contemplate rape charges and other charges, abusing women, fondling women, biting women. And somehow the walking stick is going to make you blind to the real facts of what a predator this man is. More mess, allegedly. Child with a Purpose, Nicholas says, I am not from Cayman, and I pay for my family planning method. I have 3 kids. I'm a mother and father to them. Good thing 2 are now adults, and we have to take a stand in our life that men won't take it for us. You better believe that one. Maria, good morning, says, I'm a single mother of 5 children, ages 20 to 9 years old, and I financially support them by myself. I send my daughter out of my salary to university, so I can't understand when mothers going to sit down and make a fool of themselves. Get off your lazy, you know what, and support your kids. With or without a father, it's you who birthed them, right? Mm-hmm. Barbara says, amen. Magdalene, good morning. She says, I will help any elderly person, but no one that is young and able to work. The truth is, Caymanians used to make do with what they had. Most of us did not grow up privileged. We all had our struggles, smart shopping, cooking at home, eating leftovers, etc., but going to the fast food restaurants and getting hairs and nails done. Not going, to the fast food restaurants and getting hair and nails done. Like I said, they have time to be dressing up and putting on makeup and outfits and going to carnival. So I'm like, that same money and energy you spent in that, you should be using that for your children. Morning, says Sandy. We as Caymanians are our own worst enemies. You can take the cow to the well where there's clean water, and beside the clean water is some dirty water. The cow rather drink the dirty water before drinking the clean water. They just don't care. If you find a fool, then you use the fool. Well, even my aunt used to say that, child. You find a donkey, you ride him. One of these days, a donkey will kick you off, but you ride him until you can. And that's the philosophy of some people. And they think the entire Cayman Islands community, including the women in Cayman, are nothing but a bunch of donkeys to be ridden into the sunset. El Rey says it should be mandatory for a staff member from NAU, WORC, Immigration, or RCIPS to listen to CMR each and every day and take notes. El Rey, that's funny. There you go. Just created 4 new jobs. Thank me later. You are hilarious. Oh my gosh. Corrine, good morning. Corrine says, would like a job. You're looking for a job? Now listen, every day people say to me that they're looking for a job. And the first question I say to them is, are you registered on Jobs Cayman? Some of y'all don't even know what the heck Jobs Cayman is, which might be a failure on Jobs Cayman and WORC. And it's also a failure on you, an indictment on you. You need to go and get registered. It's the mandatory job portal. And you can see what jobs are being put in for work permits that you can apply for. Maria says, you're a Leo, Sandy. Our pride won't let us swear. Let us swear or beg? I mean, it's not gonna let me beg. That's for sure. I'm gonna work. If I need $50, I'm not coming asking you to give me $50. I'm gonna come and say, what can I do for you to earn $50? Then next thing you know, you got a business because you're working, you're earning money. Yep. Ms. Morna's asking, where's the children's father? Well, according to her post, he's in the UK. I don't know if they all have the same father or what the situation is there, but at least one father's in the UK, living his best life probably. I'm not sure why they're no longer in the UK. That might have been a better environment for them because Caymanians have figured out some loopholes of going to the UK and begging over there. Such a shame. Rocky says, just like her, there's many here. I know one getting help from the USA and the Cayman government and walk around with the latest iPhone and Apple laptop, come to Cayman and drive rental car for weeks. Shameful. Unbelievable, to be honest. And you know what is so crazy about all of this is, as you say, they're figuring out how to use the system in multiple jurisdictions. Remember the one that I was telling y'all about the other day? Living on the beach that the compass did a whole write-up on? Well, when we started digging into that situation, we come to find out that she is being basically penalized by the system in Canada, because she's a Canadian citizen, for misusing their system there. But I know they fix her. They went back and recalculated her benefits when she shouldn't have gotten benefits and said, oh, by the way, you now owe us money. That's why she run back Cayman and moved out of an apartment to go live on the beach so that people can feel sorry for her because the government must now give her free housing in West Bay because they did it for one other person. Y'all are disgusting. Now, your MPs and your politicians, they're afraid to tell y'all the truth because they're looking to get voted back in. That's not the case here on the Cold Hard Truth. We don't care if we're hurting your feelings, if we're insulting you. If you're lazy and you're no good and you're not a good mother and you're a gambler, a gambling addict, and, out there taking care of these no good men, and we know it, and we have good sources sharing this information, we're going to tell you about your backside. And we're also going to tell all of the Cayman Islands, do not help people like this. If family services needs to move in and remove her children and put them in a better environment, because that's no environment for these kids to be in any event, you're not a good mother. I don't care what anybody is trying to tell you in the back of your head. When you do all of those things, you are not a good mother. You're not prioritizing your children. You're using them for financial gain and as a pawn, so then you can go sell the stuff and get money to gamble some more and to take care of men. I don't like to say remove. Try refreshing your feed, Miss Barbara. I don't like to say remove children from their home because, that's a horrible thing to say, but sometimes that just is not the right environment for them. All right. Let's move on. Thank you for your patience, Tiz. This person says, good morning, Sandy. Sorry, but that man might be providing for them. But if Carla has a begging gambling problem, she will beg to maintain her habits. I don't know, and I'm not taking up for anyone, but maybe she got problems and needs to get some serious help for sure. Well, I wouldn't doubt that. They go on to say Makiva is a fraud, and I hope I have to take him a few bags of groceries. I hope I have to take him a few bags of groceries in the F wing of Northwood Prison. What do y'all know about the F wing? Who gets put on the F wing? That's funny. I know I'm not taking him no groceries on the F wing. We're going to talk about Makiva after Tiz's segment with Recover. Make sure y'all stay tuned, Naina, because the shenanigans that Makiva is going on with is really making my head swirl a little bit. Here's another listener to the program says, good morning. Honestly, Sandra, it's becoming a lifestyle amongst these young ladies. They would rather beg and pinch than get a job and be independent. And it's very disgusting. This other person says, good morning. Good show. Do you have a photo of Carla? Yes. We'll show you what she looked like when she's not using a filter, I guess. Because it won't be long before she'll find some other means of trying to beg people for money again. What a hot mess. All right. Audacity, says Kamana, the audacity and the self-entitlement some people have is off the chain. Leroy says Cashbot posts, what? That cash pot, 6 pots a day will break you or make you. I can assure you that it's going to break you more than ever make you. Y'all need to stop wasting your money in these streets on gambling. All right. Okay, very good. It is my pleasure to invite into the studio the ever beautiful. Let's play a Recover commercial first.
Recover Personal Injury Attorneys, helping injured people get what they deserve. Did you know that insurance companies have lawyers that represent their interests? Before signing and accepting any settlement, know your rights. Call us today for a free consultation at 924-9999. That's 924-9999. Recover. Your personal injury attorneys are on standby to assist.
All right, folks, big shout out to Recover. By the way, someone said F-Wing is for trusted prisoners. They can get groceries and can cook their own food. What a mess. We're not putting him on F-Wing. Anyway, it is my pleasure to welcome the beautiful Tiz Romano from Recover. Good morning, Tiz.
Good morning. Good morning.
How
Sandy.
are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Girl, you always get the most interesting conversations when you come on the show.
Awesome.
I'm sure that you're always in the background going, oh my gosh, what is Sandy? Who is Sandy on to today? But welcome to the program. Really appreciate you being here. Everybody's sending me the down low and the F-Wing. We'll talk about that later because we got some Makiva news that we'll be bringing you guys. But Tiz, how have you been? We haven't seen you in a little bit.
Yeah, been really busy.
Yeah.
And just wrapping things up to go on a little vacation. So looking forward to that little break.
Beautiful. Well, enjoy your holiday and your vacation. Now, you guys come on the program. You are, personal injury attorneys with over 50 years of combined experience. You know what you're doing, but you come on the program to educate us and to, give us a little bit of information so that we can learn what our rights are. And, Tiz, I'm always surprised. Are you often shocked that a lot of people here in the Cayman Islands simply don't know their rights and what they're entitled to?
Yes. I mean, yes and no. Like if people don't have access to a lawyer or a consultation, I mean, how do you expect them to know? It's really hard. Like,
Yeah.
you know, especially if you don't have the means to access justice. So that's why we're here. We want to educate. We want to inform. We're here to answer questions, and of course, we offer free consultation. So if you're not sure if something happened to you and you want to know if you have any rights or any legal action, we're always here, just a phone call away.
Absolutely beautiful. So today we're going to focus a little bit on the concept or around the topic of slip, trips, and falls. So let's go ahead and talk about how prevalent is this? I mean, is this something that happens, quite often? And it's just that people don't necessarily know what their rights are?
These types of accidents happen daily, everywhere in the world, not just here. And it's really important to, figure out the circumstances around these types of injuries or accidents and see if you have any rights to make a claim. So it's not always the case just because you fall down that you can go ahead and sue someone. It really depends on fact-specific scenario. And we can go through some of those examples so that you have a better understanding.
Yes. Recently, there was a case that was in the news that we covered about a lady who fell in a local retail store on a grape or grapes or whatever. And I was really surprised that people in the comment section who were like, oh, what's the big deal? She fell in a grape. Oh, she must be a foreigner. She must be an American trying to get a whole bag of money out of this company. So even the attitude of people seems to be very, very different when it comes to them understanding their rights and knowing that, because you slip and fall, doesn't mean that it wasn't a serious situation or you don't have, medical expenses and bills and, all these things piling up. And that you also may have some legal recourse and you may have some rights. So, what's the basic, like, how do you explain this to people who think that this is a joke if you slip and fall? And they're like, oh, well, what's the big deal?
So it is a big deal because even if somebody's coming onto your property, your house, your yard, if something is dangerous and you know about it and you didn't fix it, you're responsible. So, I mean, every property owner has a duty of care to ensure that their property is safe. And so if somebody's injured on property due to somebody's inability to make sure that their premises is safe, then they will be likely liable for the person's injuries. Right? So this is why it's so important. Everyone has to make sure, especially businesses, that they take reasonable steps to make sure that their building, their site, their store, their commercial property is safe at all times.
Yeah.
So you can avoid these types of accidents from happening in the first place.
And a lot of these companies also have specific liability insurance for this purpose, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So let's talk about premise liability. What is it?
So that's when, an incident happens on your property and somebody's injured and you as the property owner are responsible for their injuries if you failed to make sure that the premises was safe, or if you could have done something better to remedy the situation and prevent that from happening. You'll be found responsible.
Very good. And so it seems like even in that case that was reported, there were efforts made to kind of reach out to, the company and say, hey, this incident happened. I'm, raking up some bills. Should people do that when they first get injured?
That's a great point. So the first thing when something like that happens is to report it to, in this instance, the store, right? So
yes,
the store should have an incident report and they should, start an investigation as to why this happened, right? In that particular situation where somebody fell on a grape, there's a lot of factors that play into that as to, what type of shoes that person was wearing, or how long had that grape been on the floor? When was the last time the store did a general sweep and an inspection of their floors to make sure that they were clear and nothing was on them, nothing was wet, all of that stuff. So there's a lot of factors that go into that, and every case is different.
All right. So property owners having to take reasonable steps to inspect their property and remove or repair any potential hazards. And of course, that's one of the reasons why, even if they're mopping up an area, one reasonable thing for property owners to do is to ensure that they put up a sign saying slippery when wet, careful or whatever.
Yes. Yeah. So all of those factors, whether there was signage, whether there was warnings, they all play into each specific case.
Yep. Very good. All right. So there's types of premises liability. Let's break this down a little bit. What are some of these?
We'll go through like the most common types of injuries and falls that we see on a daily basis. And the first obvious one that comes to mind is water on the floor, right? And that could happen to anywhere, at your home, outside your home. A lot of times when there's sprinklers on, automatic sprinklers that go throughout the day, the night, there's pools of water that accumulate. And if there's like a little crevice in the pavement, then that water is just sitting there, waiting for an accident to happen. Stairs, water on stairs is a really dangerous one. And also, depending on the type of pavement the water is on, could make it even extra slippery, right? So wet floors are a huge one, and especially in restaurants, grocery stores, places where malls, places where a lot of people are invited to come on the premises. Those property owners have to, make sure that they have systems in place to prevent these types of things from happening.
Right. And another type of hazard, anything really, cords, just floors that are not properly maintained, or debris or anything that's in the way that could mean that somebody's going to trip and fall.
Yeah, so this specific photo is showing somebody tripping on, looks like a warehouse floor where there was an obstacle in the way. And we see a lot of this type of stuff happen at work, people's jobs, where there's machinery or something that, there's a better way of putting that piece of object or material or cord. And, if the company is not aware of these things, they should be aware of these things, because they can fix it and prevent people from injuring themselves. But at the same time, the employees themselves, they're working in these areas every day, day in and day out. So they also have to be careful, and they would know, like, okay, I know this workspace is dangerous because I saw, something happen here before. Let me see if I can try to avoid this so that no one gets hurt.
So not only do the owners of the business have a responsibility to ensure that this sort of stuff, floors are being kept clean and free of debris, and there's no spillage or anything else that could be a hazard to their guests, but also the employees that work for that person.
So as an employee, as a person, you have to be aware of your surroundings, and you have to, pay attention, right? Because a lot of the times people are held contributory negligent. And we talked about this on a previous show about, how what your behavior does can affect the outcome of your case as well, right? A lot of the times courts will assign a percentage of responsibility on the actual person who got hurt for not looking where they're going, for, not wearing the proper safety equipment, stuff like that. And so a lot of this really comes down to with respect to injuries in the workplace, it comes down to how are you trained? What type of training was given to you from your employer in the beginning? Because those types of situations or scenarios should be covered as part of your safety training at work.
Okay. All right. We've got a caller on the line. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, Sandy, and good morning to your guest.
Good morning.
Just a quick question. If you hire somebody like a casual labor to come and paint a room in your house and they fall off the step ladder, is that, do you need to have a contract where you spell out who is liable, or is that something that let's say the painter, a casual laborer, can come back to you for compensation?
Interesting question. So again, it's very fact specific. Sometimes if you're hiring a company or a person to come in, they should have their own insurance cover in cases of liability accidents like this. Right. But if, for instance, you're inviting someone into your home and they fall off a ladder that was or they fall at your premises because of something that you left out or something like that, then you should have your own homeowner liability insurance that would cover that. So with somebody working at your house, is a little bit different. It depends on those specific facts. It also depends on the ladder, like were they allowed to use, how tall was the ladder? Were they allowed to use that type of ladder for the job that was getting done? All that kind of stuff. Was somebody spotting them? Was there a harness? All these factors play in.
Yes.
So it's not a really easy question.
So it's not as straightforward because there's so many questions. And this is why, again, this is where lawyers come in. I saw somebody the other day when we recommended, for example, the young man who recently lost his life, that maybe his family should speak to attorneys to see whether or not a wrongful death claim might be possible. Someone said, "Oh, I only see lawyers getting rich here," but lawyers have they're professionally trained folks, and they have understanding and they know the law and they know what questions to be asking. And in any given scenario, they also know what can twist a case in one way or another. So it's not just a question of, did he slip and fall on your premise? It's like, what caused him to slip and fall on your premise? And who, if there was any fault to be assigned, who was actually responsible for that? So did he slip and fall because he used the wrong ladder, or, he was clumsy or whatever? Or did he slip and fall because your floor, had something on it, or your dog ran by and tipped over the ladder while he was on it, and then he slipped and fell? So, it's always, when Tiz says that it's very factually, fact specific, what she means is every bit of information that you have, and this is when you meet with, people like Tiz at Recover, they really delve into asking you some deeper questions, because they need to know the most minute things have turned a case in a completely different direction. And that is why it's important. And that's why I say, get the experts on it. You guys know that Broadhurst assisted me in just by way of an example, in my lawsuit with John Felder, and the entire case got essentially thrown out. And it was a little piece of information of when did they serve you those documents. One little piece of information made a world of difference. And it was a big difference because over $100,000 I didn't have to find to pay this fraudster. Hire lawyers. It's going to be worth it. So, I know that the common person thinks, oh no, this is something I can handle on my own and I don't have to think about it. But take it from me, honey chill. Dean says it's very important. I see men in construction sites wearing flip-flops. We talked about contributed negligence before, and how sometimes there are things that an injured party can do that contributes to the degree of their injuries, or even the fact that they got injured at all. So if someone is working a construction site and they're wearing flip-flops as opposed to proper steel toe construction boots, and something falls on their toe, you might have a court deciding, the degree of your contributing negligence is 100% and you get nothing. Because had you had on the proper steel-toed boots that you should be wearing at a construction site, you wouldn't have mashed your toe and end up having to have it amputated. The devil's in the details, folks, especially when it comes to law. Trust and believe. So, Tiz, people also have injuries from falling objects. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, like classic scenario, you're at the store and you're reaching up for something on the shelf above you, and because of the way that it was stacked, it wasn't stacked safe enough, and so when you pull something, it all falls on top of you and you get injured. Right? I've had that type of case before, and again, very fact specific, but documenting this type of stuff and getting photos of exactly what happened at the time is very, very important, because it'll help to tell the story later on.
Wow. So fascinating. Okay. All right. We've got a comment here from Scott. Scott said the scenario the caller was asking about that caused the painter is doing a cash job on the side and has no insurance. So yes, the homeowner will have to be on the hook. We'll talk about that here in a second, but we do have another caller. Good morning, caller, and welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Yes. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, just a quick question.
Sure.
Suppose I let's say walking on the street or walking on the road, and a limb or a coconut to drop on the tree and injure me. Yeah, what would happen in that situation?
So you're walking.
I know if it's like on a premises of someone,
yeah,
the person would probably be liable, like if a coconut drop or a limb drop, and if you're at a premises of someone, in the yard or something.
So if you're just walking on the road and something happens to you, you're saying who's responsible for that?
Right, like if a limb drop on you or something, a coconut or something drop on you.
Okay.
If it's government land, suppose it's government land, would government be responsible for that?
Yeah, well, this is what I'm going to say. I'm sure Tiz is going to tell you that we'd probably have to find out who actually owns wherever you were walking, because it could be government land and it could be something, Tiz, that's owned by a private individual, right?
Correct. Yeah. So first thing we need to investigate is who was responsible for the upkeep of that land, and then how was it maintained properly? So if the records show that this was a property that they had a service coming, every 2 weeks or so, and everything was getting trimmed, and a coconut that was ripe fell, I mean, it's going to be harder to prove that they were responsible. Whereas if the place is abandoned or not well kept, the argument becomes stronger that they're responsible.
Very interesting. Yes. I mean, there are some times when things might just be like an act of God.
Right.
Like you can't really, you get struck by lightning, you can't sue God.
No.
That's probably the one lawsuit you're just not going to win. There's nobody up in the heavens that you can say you're responsible for me getting struck by lightning. So you just better hope and pray that you are alive and can make a full recovery.
The other thing I would add is that if, as a person, you have to, again, be aware of your surroundings. So even like parking your car under a coconut tree, like look where you're parking and make sure, because you're going to avoid a potential accident. And yes, sometimes those types of claims are covered by your car insurance, but if you get hurt, that's going to be trickier.
Very good. Some interesting questions. 936 Bobo is the telephone number. If you've got a question for Tiz, feel free to give her a call. Injuries caused by unexpected changes in floor level. Oh gosh, I see this all the time.
Yes.
Where you walk into a store and they've like either added on or they built a step into it and you have to step down. And a lot of times you don't see that step down and there's no notice, like watch your step. Next thing you know, you fall a couple inches and you twist and break your ankle.
Yes.
Mhm.
Super common. And again, there's things that the store could do to mark it up, to, color it with different paint, put signs, all kinds of things to kind of warn people of that different height in the flooring. In that particular photo that you're showing looks like the concrete is raised. And so people are walking around barefoot or in flip-flops near a pool and could easily get their toes, stuck on that higher piece of brick and fall and hurt themselves, break their teeth and slam their jaw, like very dangerous. So keep on top of these things as a property owner and see what can be done to fix these things before anything happens.
Very good. Good morning to Miss Emma. Damien says, how would you document that or prove that new trick for scammers? I don't know which thing he's talking about, prove what exactly, but let's talk generally speaking about how do you document like injuries and so forth?
I think there's a slide coming up on that specific topic.
Okay. We do have a caller. Let's just grab this caller. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
I just sort of a general question in regards to, I guess, TIS or Recover's experience locally in the last little while. We know that on the other side of the insurance coin, we've got a bit of an epidemic with unlicensed, uninsured drivers that I'm sure would cause problems. I'm wondering what the experience is locally, the grape incident aside, if you will, because I know a store like of that nature would be sufficiently covered. But as far as the example the guy gave before, where he's like, I got this guy coming to paint some stuff at my house, I can guarantee you that would fall on the homeowner. But if it was just generally dealing, like even with local contractors and things like that, like it's we're very trusting in that we just assume that these people have that they're going to take care of themselves and that they're properly back with the right kind of coverage. But what has the local experience been like with these type of suits for the uneven floor and for the slip and fall? And are the companies themselves actually insured properly? Are the strata corporations insured properly? That sort of thing. I'm going to hang up and just listen to the answer. I'm just curious about what the experience is like locally. I mean, I'm a tenant. I have a tenant insurance policy. I'm in a building, so my landlord in the strata has a policy. I don't know what that policy is like, but it exists so that I don't have to have it because I just live on the inside and I'm just a tenant. But I just want to hang up and listen.
Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. So it's important. I think the crux of what the caller is getting to is that it's really important for people to make sure, because things happen, accidents happen, slip and falls happen, but you've got to make sure that you have adequate protection in place. So insurance is important. Don't be underinsured. Make sure that you're in contact with your insurance company on a regular basis, especially for your homeowner's policy. But as part of any home insurance policy, you also get a liability policy. I think most of them have to be at least like $500,000 plus that they will cover for injuries. So make sure that you have, all of those things in place, because you can even have someone working for you, like a domestic worker at home. They slip and fall and get hurt, and somebody's got to pay those bills, right?
So to answer the previous caller's question, generally, what our experience has been is that in the larger companies and places of work and condo stratas and all that, they are generally covered with adequate insurance. It's the mom and pop shops or the smaller businesses that may not have proper insurance coverage or insurance coverage at all. And that's unfortunate because the remedy is to go after them personally, especially if the business is in their name. So that was a great question. And also with respect to uninsured drivers, unfortunately we see that too often, and it's one of my biggest pet peeves, because other than when you renew your license at the DVL, and they check that, or when you transfer a car into your name and they check for that insurance, there's no other proper checks and balances to make sure that everyone driving a car out there is insured. And it's really sad situation, because if that person who's uninsured causes an accident or a death or anything like that, it's really tricky, and we would have to go after these people personally, which is very hard, especially if they don't have assets, or if they're here on a short work permit and they end up leaving. The person who's injured really gets the short end of the stick in those situations, and it's heartbreaking. And we need the government to do more. We need to step up with respect to insurance, and even the basic policies that are, third party coverage only, and they're $1 million. If you cause a catastrophic accident and someone is in a wheelchair for the rest of their life, that $1 million doesn't cover anything at all. When you consider the future care costs that they are going to have to incur with having assistance for everything going forward. So it's also a good idea, just looking at your own car accident policy, insurance policies, to see if you can get like a higher level of coverage, so that you're not exposing yourself for people to go after you if you cause those types of severe injuries.
Wow. Okay. Some great questions. You guys are really thinking hard. Injuries caused by poorly lit areas. Oh, this is a good one too. Thinking of like stratas, apartment complexes. Sometimes you're walking around them at night and you really can't see where you're going.
Yeah. So lighting is really key, especially at night. And I've been walking through stratas where they have speed bumps every certain amount of feet apart from each other, and if it's dark you don't see, and you easily trip. So make sure that properties are well lit, or if the lighting, for example, the light bulb's out or it needs to get fixed, that property maintenance is done on a regular basis to ensure that there's always adequate lighting.
And for people who live in apartment complexes, you're on your strata boards. Sometimes you think, oh, I can handle all this stuff myself. We don't need a strata management company. These are things that you want to make sure that it is being handled properly. Your insurance is paid up and it's up to date, not just what's adequate for any, damage that you might have to the property, but also in the event that there's some sort of a claim against your liability insurance policy. That aspect of it, make sure your lighting is up to par, make sure you've got adequate security in place at your facility and so forth as well. So here's another really, really interesting one. Injuries caused from a swimming pool accident. Unfortunately, over the years, we've heard of people, going in pools and drowning or losing their lives or getting hurt on different pool equipment. So this is another really important one as well, because we live in a beautiful island. A lot of people have pools.
Yes, and like the worst case scenario in this type of accident is, a little child unsupervised, just walking into the pool and not knowing how to swim. So again, very fact specific. You'll see in that photo specifically, there's a fencing around it. That's a really good idea to keep little kids out. But there's all kinds of things that could happen near a pool. And again, as property owners, we have to make sure that the premises is as safe as possible, and that parents are always watching their kids or with them in the pool. A lot of stratas have pool rules. If you're not following those rules and something happens, you will be held responsible as well. So all very important things to consider.
Okay, very good. We got a question here from Kimaria says, what happens, or suppose you open the door of a business place and it burst open your toe, who's responsible? So I guess the door hit their toe. Well, I guess it depends on why the door hit the toe. I mean, it sounds like you could be at fault for probably not paying attention to how you open the door and moving your foot out of the way. But if there was, like, say, something attached to the bottom of the door, like an extra lip or something that made that door unique and different, could potentially be, the person's fault. If there was maybe the door was damaged or something and that caused it to hit your toe. But generally speaking, sometimes you're responsible for your own injuries. So, if you open a door too quickly, whatever, and knock yourself out with the door, then that might just be your fault. So, and you can't sue yourself, by the way. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Morning. I have a question about an emotional fall. If someone intentionally infects you with, say, HIV, for example, is that a criminal offense?
In most jurisdictions, yes. She's not a criminal lawyer, but I can tell you in most jurisdictions it is.
Well, what my question is getting at is in Cayman, is that a criminal offense?
It probably, I don't know if they have a specific offense for that, but they would extend it to, like, they would extend it under one of the common law arms, I'm sure of it, because it's already been done in other UK-based jurisdictions. So it's not far-fetched to have it done here.
What about the contributory negligence element in relation to such a situation? How do you avoid that? What are the considerations?
Oh, so in other words, because you didn't use protection with the person?
Or
maybe you're at fault?
Like, what specifically would one need to do in order to avoid being considered contributing to your situation? Because in those situations, you're not thinking, okay, this person is going to maliciously harm me.
Yes.
But what if they
That's
do,
interesting.
and you're not really thinking about it? Like, how do you avoid being a victim like that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess this is probably outside the scope of TIS.
Yeah. Just off the top of my head, I can say, like,
wait a minute. We said the same thing at the same time. What do you say when you say that? You say jinx, or is it touche? No, is it jinx? There's another word for it. Yes, but we were both saying off the top of my head.
Off the top of your head, things you can do is, if you're in a relationship with this person or whatnot, and you're considering doing that, you can ask them, you can get both of you tested to make sure you're both clean before you start doing that type of stuff. I'm not, this is totally off topic of this show.
Yes, but you know what, Tiz? There is a case. I mean, this is just the bizarre side of law, because sometimes there are cases that are super bizarre. But there was a case recently, like a couple months ago, maybe late last year, where an insurance company, a judge found that an insurance company was going to be held liable to pay damages to a woman who caught an STD in the car. So the car insurance company had to pay it. Did you hear that case?
I didn't hear that case.
Oh my God.
I'm going to have to look that up. That is super interesting.
Hold on. I'm going to look this up, because I think we covered it.
Here on Island?
Sorry?
Did it happen here on Island?
No. This was in the US, of course.
Oh, US.
Only in America. Yeah. So, a woman who claims that she got an STD from a vehicle was awarded $5.2 million.
Come on.
That's Americans for you. I think we hold on, let me see if I can find this. I think we may have covered it as well, because it was like all over the news. And it's just one of those bizarre stories where you go, huh? What? Oh my gosh. I think I'm going to share this. Yeah, it's really weird. It's very, very strange.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, they're really bizarre stories like this. Here was another one of a woman who caught an STD after a janitor put his privates in a water bottle. So if you're that janitor's employer, you might have some answering to do as well. Pretty crazy. But yeah, this was, I'll send you this, Tiz, because it's just one of those really bizarre. But again, it turns on certain very, very specific facts, right?
Yes.
So car insurance company has to pay $5.2 million to a woman who claims that she caught a sexually transmitted infection in a Hyundai Genesis. I don't know why the make of the car matters, but she was from Missouri, and she said that her ex-boyfriend infected her in this vehicle. And so Geico General Insurance Company, the court found, had to pay.
$5
Man
million.
did not disclose his
That must have been a
infection.
really good policy.
Yeah, seriously. So I'll send you this because it is very, very interesting.
Yes.
All right. Some bizarre things. Scott says, I don't think that's going to be covered under your home owner's policy. Well, in the US, they found that it would be covered under the car insurance policy because that's where the incident took part.
It really depends on the actual policy itself. That's a really important part to talk about, because every homeowner policy, auto insurance policy, whatever insurance policy, they're all different. So you have to make sure that you understand all the clauses in it before you actually sign up and pay those premiums to make sure you're covered.
What do you say to people who never, 99.999% of people never read their policy? What do you say to them?
You know, too little, too late. After when something happens and you are not covered, you can't say, well, I didn't know I didn't have coverage, because the onus is on you to read your policy and make sure and ask questions to your insurance company to make sure that you know exactly what's covered and what's not. Because you can also add on to your policies, right? So you have your basic policy, and then you can add on certain things. Then there's exclusions. So it's really in your best interest, in your own best interest, to read your policy and ask questions and make sure you understand everything before you sign up.
So Damien says that some of these doors are set to close quickly and hit your toe or heel. So that's interesting. Damien says many insurance companies do not support liability insurance for certain businesses also. Well, we heard that from CUC yesterday. They can't get poles insured. So yeah, it's the risk involved in particular types of businesses. So you've got to make sure that you know, probably before you even try to start up a business, what coverage you can get. Patricia says government does all they can do, I believe, and that is RCIPS setting up monthly or random roadblocks for vehicle checks. One thing done in the US is insurance companies report to the Department of Motor. I think what Tiz was actually talking about was that there is an imbalance with insurance companies basically being able to deny claims for any and everything versus what would be reasonable in other jurisdictions. So the consumer doesn't have sufficient protection even from their own insurance companies that they may be paying on a policy for many, many years. And then the second they try to make a claim on that policy, the insurance companies reject it for the littlest of things, and they find all kind of loopholes. Maybe, Tiz, one day we could do a show on, from a legislative perspective, in your opinion, you know, being someone on the ground every day, what are some of the changes that could or should be made?
Definitely.
All right. So injury caused at a commercial property. How is that different than, you know, if they're injured at your place of residence? Does it really matter?
So yeah, because look, if you're looking at this photo that's on the screen right now, it's one of those floor polishing machines. And, you know, those machines have different settings. So if whoever's using that machine is not trained properly, and they put it on a really high setting, and it causes the floor to have this slippery sheen to it, and people start falling everywhere, then there's going to be claims made because that wasn't the safest way to buff and polish the floors, right? So that's different than in your own house. You wouldn't be doing that type of floor maintenance in your house. You would mop, you would vacuum.
Okay. All right, very good. Really gets you. These sessions really get you to think about a lot of different things. Let's see. Dean says if someone's personal data is stolen from a company's data system, like someone's financial health and personal address, etc., causing grief and pain and suffering, can you file a lawsuit, and who and how successful will it be? So, in other words, say you work for an organization that doesn't have adequate protections in place to protect, customer data, and someone breaches that, could you potentially sue them for that breach?
I think the answer is yes. And again, it's very fact specific. So if it's a large organization, if it's a bank, if it's a government, it depends on what their data protection laws say in each place that they have that. So if it's here, if it's on island, if it's in the States, it's all different. Lots of investigation go into these claims to really get all those minute details before we can give an opinion.
Michael says that I read my wife's car policy and realized that I'm covered until I reach 75 years of age. Afterwards, to be insured, I have to get a medical test done, and I'm 2 years away. So this is another good example of why you want to know what your policy says and what restrictions are in place, if any. And a lot of vehicular policies, for example, only cover drivers 25 and over. So if you have a younger person in your household, you want to make sure that you get a policy that's going to cover them. All right, so let's start to wrap up. So just some things here, Tiz, that are good to keep in mind.
Yeah, so just because you're injured on someone else's property, it doesn't automatically mean that the person is the property owner is going to be responsible. You have to show that the owner knew or should have known about a hazardous condition, and he or she or they or it failed to correct it, right? And then remember, there's always contributory negligence that could be assigned to the injured party for not taking steps to also prevent the injury or making the injury worse than it could have been. For example, if you're not wearing the proper footwear, that would be one of the easiest examples of that. And this is the slide that answers the other caller's question, what to do after an accident. So photograph the area right away if you can. Everyone has their phones on them. So take out your phone, take a photo. If there was water on the floor, take a photo of the water. Or if it's a liquid substance, maybe it's not water, maybe it's soap, maybe it's a cleaning agent. Very important to get those details documented. If there's witnesses that saw you fall, then you should get their contact details, because we can always go back and reach them and get them to give us a statement that would support your version of what happened. And that goes to liability. There's CCTV footage everywhere in these days. So we can also request that from the property owner or from the government, depending if it happened outside or not. And we can try to recreate what happened watching the footage. So that's another important thing. And then going to the doctor, right? So some people fall and they get hurt and they just, go home. They don't report it. They go home and weeks later, they're like not getting better, and they realize, oh darn, I'm hurt now, and who's going to pay for my medical bills? And I never reported this, and I never went to the doctor right away. Those types of situations make it harder for us as lawyers to prove your claim, because too much time passes between the incident and you getting medical attention. So make sure you document that as well with your doctor. And then lastly, contact an attorney. We're always here. We give out free consultations or a phone call away. If you're not sure, if you have a question, you can always call us, and we'd be happy to hear what happened to you and give you a preliminary advice on your specific situation.
Amazing. Okay. All right. Very, very good. And someone's asking on WhatsApp about the statute of limitation. So it's probably a good thing to remind people that you can't wait 20 years and sue.
No, I think if you go to the next slide.
Okay.
Da, 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 3 years.
3 years. Oh my gosh. I was thinking it was 7. For 3 years for personal injury.
Yes, 3 years. And we don't, as a firm, our policy is not to wait the 3 years. We like to put companies on notice right away and find out if they have insurance right away and get the claim going. So we do not wait 3 years to bring a claim in the courts. But yes, you have 3 years.
And already people are asking for your number. So let's make sure that people know how to reach you.
So it's 924-9999. That's a direct office line. And also on WhatsApp. That's a WhatsApp number as well. So if you don't have access to a telephone, you can message us on Wi-Fi as well. We will always reach back out to you and offer you a meeting or even a phone call. You can reach us anytime.
Beautiful. All right. So that's our contact number, folks. 924-9999. Recover Personal Injury Attorneys. Let's just run down when people think of personal injury. Sometimes they're very, very limited. They're only thinking of car accidents. Now we know slip and falls. What else falls under this general umbrella of personal injury?
Accidents at work, dog bites, medical negligence. That's a whole different other show, but yes. What else? Falls.
Yep. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Tiz, thank you so much as always for coming on the program. You're a real hit. Everyone always has lots of questions for you and lots of commentary. So we'll see Tiz next month, or how long are you going to be off on holiday for?
I will see you at the end of August.
The end of August. Okay. All right. Beautiful. All right. Well, Tiz, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And have a good trip. Have a good vacation.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
All righty.
Recover Personal Injury Attorneys, helping injured people get what they deserve. Did you know that insurance companies have lawyers that represent their interests? Before signing and accepting any settlement, know your rights. Call us today for a free consultation at 924-9999. That's 924-9999. Recover. Your personal injury attorneys are on standby to assist.
For 20 years, we've committed to helping the people of the Cayman Islands live longer, healthier, and happier lives. But healthcare and the expectations of patients are rapidly evolving, and so must we. We have made incredible clinical and technological advancements and achieved JCI accreditation, the internationally recognized gold seal of approval for patient safety and quality of care. So it's time for our image to reflect our transformation from a local hospital to a world-class healthcare authority, with a new logo that symbolizes national duty and pride, a statement that reinforces our commitment to our patients every step of the way, with colors as bold as our mission to provide the highest quality healthcare. Dynamic, professional, skilled, committed, caring. This is HSA.
Now, y'all love Popeyes for my fried chicken, but the real ones also love my salty, flaky, covered in butter biscuits. Well, biscuit fans, have I got a treat for you. Introducing new, irresistible strawberry biscuits at Popeyes. The perfect balance of salty and sweet thanks to decadent strawberry bits baked right in and mouth-watering creamy icing on top. The perfect dessert for just $2.29. Or grab 6 pieces for $12.59.
Strawberry biscuits forever.
Not forever, I'm afraid, honey. Limited time only, and only at Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen on Eastern Avenue.
Ocean Ridge Heights offers an amazing opportunity to own a piece of land in idyllic Cayman Brac, right on the bluff, starting from $80,000. Located in a quiet residential area with high elevation, these lots are ideal for a future home or investment property and are sure to go fast. Cayman Brac offers a laid-back lifestyle, amazing pristine diving, limestone caves, diverse flora, along with amazing wildlife. Inquire about the owner financing options so that you can secure your piece of paradise today. With only a few lots remaining, these are sure to go before you know it. Contact Crichton Properties today on 345-949-5250 or info@crichtonproperties.com.
Recover Personal Injury Attorneys, helping injured people get what they deserve. Did you know that insurance companies have lawyers that represent their interests? Before signing and accepting any settlement, know your rights. Call us today for a free consultation at 924-9999. That's 924-9999. Recover. Your personal injury attorneys are on standby to assist.
All right, folks, welcome back. Look at who my co-host is. Say hello. Say hi to everybody. It's co-host Zeus in the house. The microphone is hiding him. Hold on. Let me kind of rearrange him a little bit. I feel like Zeus has actually put on a little bit of weight. Zeus, you might have put on a couple ounces there. Say hi to everybody. They were asking for you earlier with your little bow that's now backwards. It's supposed to be facing the other way. Oh my goodness, I'm totally useless. But say hi to everyone. Zeus is like, what do you want me to say? Say woof woof. Hi, K-Man. I'm Zeus the dog. Yes, that's me. Cute as I want to be. Cutie patootie. He is such a little doll. He's so sweet. Aren't you the sweetest little thing? Oh, he's such a sweet dog. So Leroy says, yes, Zeus, tell them, K-Man. He is so cute. And he's got a really sweet personality. He's only 5 months old, by the way. He was 5 months on the 9th of the month. So he's coming up on 6 months. Once he reaches 6 months, we'll get him fixed and all sorted out. Be responsible pet owners. But yes, he is just a cutest little patootie. Doing much better with the potty training and stuff. And we got little commands now that Zeus is paying attention to. Oh, he's so cute. So, yes, Gareth, everybody gets to say hi to Zeus. Say hello, K-Man. He wants to kiss me. Say hi. How's everybody doing? Yes, I was talking about that, John. John's like, why does he have a bow in his hair? I was talking about that earlier. I suspect they may have put it in because he's a puppy. He can't get a haircut until he's after like 12 months, right? So I think because the top is getting a little bit long, that they probably wanted to keep that out of the way. And so I don't know. They put a little bow up there. Even Gigi's like, he's not a girl. Why does he have a bow in his hair? Men can wear bows too, you know. All right, we're going to let him get back down where he can lie down and relax himself. Yes, can men not wear bows? I don't know. I'm not anti-bow for a man. You guys can wear bows if you want. Okay. And he likes, you know what he likes to do? You guys, if you have dogs, you know some dogs do this, where they lay completely flat, like they're now he's got something to say. What's the problem? You know what he's barking at? There is okay, sir. Settle down, sir. There is a ball in here that is like a beach ball, and it's all these different colors. You know, dogs don't see the same colors that we do. So he's looking at that like, what is that? Shh. Okay, that's enough. So he's lying down now, but still barking at it. Like, what is that ball? Sophia says all mouth like his owner. Oh my gosh. What's a Chevy man? I don't even know what that means anyway. Leroy says, go Bailey's. They do good dog cuts. Who the heck is Bailey's? Oh my gosh. He's okay. All right. Zeus, calm down. He's like afraid of the ball, so he's backing up. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna get the. I'm gonna. Yeah. Shh. hey. Calm down. He just knows that thing looks weird. And he's, wow, I've never heard Zeus bark so much. Oh my goodness. All right, hold on. I know what we're going to do. Zeus, we got you. Hold on now. Hold on, honey child.
In the mornings, no one wants to miss listening to the Cold Hard Truth or reading CMR. Cayman's #1 news platform has made your morning commute fun again. Pass this time with the Cold Hard Truth on weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Talk radio that's engaging, entertaining, and enlightening. But be careful. Some mornings it's so hot, you might run into a bit of trouble.
Okay, so we took the ball out of the room because it was the ball that he was barking at. He's like, what? I've not seen that before. What is that? And he kept like backing up from the ball, so he's scared of it. My little Tweedum. So Phineas said he's taking over the show. Yeah, we moved the ball out of the way, so now he won't be disturbed. But he'll soon figure out that, oh, that's something I can play with. What a mess. Y'all heard him, boy. He's like, ruh, ruh, ruh. I tell you what, that's the most I've heard him bark. He was not having it. Ball? I don't know anything about this ball. Where did it come from? And then it was over by his other toys. So I'm sure he was extra suspicious. Sir. Okay, calm down now. No need for any more barking. The rest of those items are your toys. No. Oh my goodness. Now he's suspicious of that whole corner. He keeps looking at it like, what else is in that corner? Those are your toys. Why are you barking at your toys now? The ball was right next to the toys, you see. So he's still like, I'm suspicious now. All right. Well, we have our little training collar on Zeus. I told y'all he went to doggy boot camp and he did some training. And so he knows like certain commands and stuff now. We're still working with him. The biggest thing is when he goes out with other people, trying to get him to behave and don't bark around people and dogs and stuff, to just be well-mannered. So we're still working on that. So the dog trainers come back this weekend. I think I booked them for Saturday morning, and they're going to come back and kind of see how he's doing and stuff. And I also utilize a dog training collar, which I used with Coco, and they work very, very well. You have dogs who bark and stuff a lot. Use more than one method. I love this. It's got several options available to you and how you can control the dog. The last one is a little bzz. We try not to use that one at extreme situations. But number 1 and number 2, number 1 is like an audible where you hear the buzz. Number 2 is like a vibration where they only hear and feel it. It's like a frequency, a lower frequency. And trust me, if he starts to bark, I just press number 2 and he knows that means no, you must stop. So get y'all one of these, honey child. They help you to have well-behaved dogs. I used to have one. I discovered it with Coco because Coco was a dasher. Like she would dash out the door, zoom. She had so much energy, honey child. And I said to myself, oh God, one day she's going to run out the door and get hit by a car. And of course I didn't want that. So I investigated, and I'm trying to remember the brand that I got her. But the brand that I got her, they use with hunting dogs. And it's actually, I'll have to look that one up on Amazon. It's actually really, really good, waterproof and everything. And I remember it because it was like a bright orange color. I'll see if I can find that one because I really liked that one a lot. Let me see if I can find that one. But anyway, this is a different brand now because that's been eons ago. But the first time I put it on her, and you know, as dog owners, you always feel like a little bit like, oh my God. Oh yeah, that one was called Sport Dog, but they're really expensive because they have a long range. Like you can do 500 yards. Most of them now are rechargeable. They don't have I wish that they would put these on sale, honey child. And they even have the option to do like 2 dogs. So it's like 1 remote and 2 dog collars. So those are really good, but Sport Dog is a top brand. Like you're going to pay a premium price for those. You don't have to pay that for these smaller dogs, to be honest. But they come with a lot of features. It's the biggest thing with them, because they use them with like the field dogs. So like the Labrador retrievers and the pointer dogs and all those, they're submersible up to 25 feet. So dogs who like do diving and all that kind of stuff. So, they're very, very like top-notch collars. And that's what I used for Coco. But I'll never forget the first time I was hoping Amazon would have them on sale for Prime Day. Oh, is Prime Day over already? Oh gosh, that went by so quickly. So, sorry, Zeus, almost stepped on him. Oh my gosh. So the first time I tried it on Coco, I wasn't quite sure. I was like, I don't know. This might zap her and I don't want anything to happen to her. So, Mr. Scotty, this is a story that I will always remember about you. We had Mr. Scotty across the street. Big shout out to him. He now lives in Kimmenbrack. And I went over to him and I said, Mr. Scotty, I have this training collar for my dog, but I'm kind of scared to use it on her. Like, I want to see if it really works. I didn't want to say, I want to see if it hurts. I want to see if it really works. He's like, oh, okay. What do you want me to do? And I said, can I put it on your arm? And then you tell me. Poor Mr. Scotty. He was the same one who would come and come over when a roach flew into my house. Oh, did he come over that time? Oh, I don't think he came over. I think that was the guy next door. My old neighbors heard me screaming bloody murder and they came over like, oh my God, is somebody trying to assault you? I'm like, yes, a flying roach is trying to assault me. No, he came over with the spider. The one day the mama spider came in, he came over and stepped on it and then all the babies came out. I was horrified. I was like, oh my God, this is why you don't step on a spider. Oh, Mr. Scotty, he saved me a couple times with frogs too. So anyway, Mr. Scotty said, sure, you can put it on my arm. He was always game. So I put the collar on and I buzzed it. He's like, yeah, that's all right. That's not too bad. I should have thought about his tolerance level, probably not really being that of a dog. But anyway, I said, all right, Mrs. Scotty, thanks. Went and put it on Coco. And the first time I opened the door, here she goes again, zooming at the door, zoom. And I pressed that button one time. And she must have jumped about 6 feet off the ground. I tell you not a word of lie. Not that it hurt. It was the shock of the surprisation. She was caught off guard. She's like, whoa, what was that? And she jumped up. What? And I said, get back inside. And she came back inside. And from that day, she never jolted out that door again. I never had no problems with her after that day. But she was so smart that after a while, you have to be very careful how you use these collars because she would know if the collar wasn't on. She's like, oh, you don't have it on me. I can misbehave. But yeah, she was, we had to rein her in a little bit. And trust me, that did the trick. Val says, why didn't you put on your own arm? Zeus? Because I was scared, Val. I'm like, I can't take no pain. Scotty can take the pain. He's a big man. So Andrea says, I dog sit my friend's dog every 5 a.m. That dog wakes me up, never again. Yeah, some dogs are on a very, very particular schedule, but your friend should have told you that before you decided to dog sit. Zeus is normally around 6 o'clock. He goes to bed and 6 o'clock, he's ready to get up. So you're not sleeping in no more. I feel sorry for y'all. As he gets older though, and his little bladder can go longer, he'll be fine probably to like maybe 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. All right, folks, let's talk about, I don't even want to call him a dog because that's an insult to 4-legged dogs. Let's talk about Mr. Minikiva Bush. I want to give y'all some updates. So over the weekend, someone who's related to his latest alleged victim, the latest complainant, the one who he's been charged with rape, decided that she was going to comment on a social media post. It was a post that Mr. Curtis from Kimmenbrack had put up. And basically all Curtis was saying was, how can this man still be called honorable after he's being charged with this sort of thing? Right? And it's kind of a good question in a way, Curtis, I must say. But he's been called honorable because he himself changed the legislation that no matter what an MP does, once they have gotten the title of honorable, so they're like ministers, Speaker of the House, that is a lifetime title that they retain for the remainder of their life, no matter what. Mm-hmm. Yes, honey child. he passed that piece of legislation to make sure that he would forever be called honorable, no matter what he did or does, or convictions doesn't matter, jail time doesn't matter. We will always have to refer to him as honorable. Somebody in this supposed honorable house should undo that change. Y'all listening to me, MPs, Premier? Change that. It's a lifetime honorific. Thank you, is what they call it. To me, that's a bunch of baloney. You get charged and get convicted. It's not for ministers. Who's it for? Oh, just speaker. Oh, he did it when he was speaker of the house or what? That's even worse. Please, please. Leader of government business, premiers, and speaker only. Change it. Right? You don't get no lifetime honorific if you're no longer honorable to the real world, charged with rape, sexual assault, and all kind of stuff. Come on now. This is a bunch of hogwash, if you ask me. Anyway, McKeever changed that, and all the other MPs sat back and allowed him to do it and said nothing and did nothing, as is typical here in the Cayman Islands. So Curtis was asking the question, why is he still called honorable? This is ridiculous. I agree with Curtis. So a particular person who is the aunt of his latest victim decides to get in the comment section and start saying one bunch of stuff. And other people were disagreeing with her. Like, basically, she was taking McKeever's side against her own family member, which, when you think about that, is kind of shocking in a way, but it also speaks to Caymanians' families and their dysfunctionality. So anyway, she took it upon herself to comment on a post that lots of people saw. Someone disagreed with her, and then she sent them a voice note about how, I can believe McKeever over her and why she waited 20-something years and blah, 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 this. And yeah, she my niece, but I don't care. I was like, oh my God. I want to remind you all, first of all, okay? In case you didn't get this memo, the RCIPS, Peter Lansdowne, Detective Superintendent for the RCIPS, was keen last week to send this to us. This is a warning, not just for me, for all of you out there having a public discourse on this situation. You are in no way to say anything or do anything that is potentially going to identify the victim of this sexual assault. The court has imposed, he says, a gagging order. I don't know if it's a gag or gagging order, but semantics. So they have imposed an order that prevents any form of identifying the victim directly or indirectly. Now, I know a lot of people know who the victim is. They know who the complainant is, I should say. Yes, but that does not mean that this is not enforceable and it's not in place. So, madam, when you sent that voice note to other people, that is something that could easily be forwarded and circulated. Do not do it. Okay? Don't identify her. I don't care if she's family to you. I don't care if she's your daughter, your granddaughter, your next door neighbor. If you know who she is, you know who she is, and just keep it to yourself. People who know. And that's it. People who don't know, well, too bad for you. What was more concerning to me is what she had to say about the victim, the complainant, I should say, and how she felt about her, which I found really, really disturbing. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program. Hello.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Yes, good morning, Sandra.
Morning. How are you?
Okay, and you?
Not too bad, thanks.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I heard you a few times now concerning CUC.
Concerning, say that again?
Concerning CUC and their
Oh,
bill.
that was a topic yesterday.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, deep down inside, CUC is able to do better in charging us too much. You know that, right?
Well, what I know needs to do better is what is the bulk of my bill, which is the fuel factor.
Okay.
And that don't have anything to do with CUC.
CUC reminds me of cable and wireless. When we only had cable and wireless here on this island. And the cell phones first came out.
someone called my phone. If you called my phone and it was the wrong number, I had to pay for it. That is what cable and wireless were doing us.
Mm-hmm. It's
So
not.
that is
It's
what
not
we need.
really comparing apples to apples, though. But okay.
It's not really. Yes, it's really doing that. Yes, it's really doing that. So don't be pro CUC and anti poor people, Sandra.
What? I'm not pro CUC and anti poor people, but that's not comparing apples to apples. That's not what CUC does. CUC doesn't. That's like saying that would be the equivalent of saying, okay, if the power goes out for 5 hours, CUC is still charging me something during those 5 hours. They can only charge you for what you use. That example that you just gave for flow, you weren't using any minutes because the call did not even connect and they were still charging you. That is not the same example, but people are asking me if we can stay on topic. So I'll let you finish. Go ahead with your comment, sir.
It's not the same example, but what I was trying to say, Mr. Sandra Catron, is that because we never had any other competition until the infiltration put it in place, that is what we were dealing with. And until the government and off-rig do what they're supposed to do that is right, the CUC situation is only going to get worse, especially those shareholders who don't mind the bill going up every day. They really don't care. Thank you very much.
All right, my dear. Thank you very much. I mean, you can't give an example that don't make no damn sense. I'm sorry. That just don't make no sense. The equivalent to that, like I said, would be, anyway, let's just stay on topic. We've talked about CUC for 3 days now. That is not even the topic. McKeeva Bush. Y'all don't look like you want to hear about McKeeva Bush. That's why you're talking about CUC now. But you can hear about McKeeva Bush whether you want to hear it or not. Okay? So what disturbs me the most really in this community is the fact that we have people here, folks, who would rather give the accused the benefit of the doubt when they haven't earned it than give the victim the benefit of the doubt. To me, that says a lot about us as individuals and about us as a community as well. Why would anybody in their right mind, right? Just being fair, just looking at what we know, because there's a lot that we don't know that will come out during trial. Just what we know about Mr. Bush, what we know about, his multiple allegations in the past. Say that you know nothing about this victim whatsoever, and you don't need to know anything about her, okay? Why would you give Mr. Bush the benefit of the doubt? Can somebody answer that question for me? 936 Bobo is the telephone number. Tell me why you would give him the benefit of the doubt, given his history of what he has done and what he's known to have done and what he's been accused of in the past over and over and over again. You see, this is where I think some of y'all missing a couple screws. I can't give this man the benefit of the doubt in this situation at all. Not when you know the man. Someone, when the allegations first came out that he was, well, not the allegations, when he was charged, one of his supporters started mentioning, oh, this is politics and this and that, blah, 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 blah. So yesterday I was talking to someone who's very close to this individual, and they said, Sandy, you can't be telling me the truth. And I'm like, well, I'm telling you. The person said it's politics and yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, how is this politics? Because this certainly doesn't help this government, none at all. In fact, it will probably be their undoing that they decided to work with McKeeva Bush when they felt like they had any other choice. Because if he gets convicted, he's behind going to jail. Rape is a very serious offense. And you either have to call an early election and dissolve the government, which doesn't help them one iota. I'm like, I don't even understand. How is this political? I said, this is not political. So the person I was talking to yesterday said, Sandy, our people are very disingenuous. And they don't have no sense and they love to lie, because that same individual that's sending you voice notes talking about its politics 4 years ago, when the allegation first came up, I was like, oh, it came up 4 years ago. That same person spoke to the victim because the two of them were tight And they said to this person yesterday now to tell me this story, Sandy, they said that they believed her. So now they're going to say it's politics. I said, boy, I guess a lot changes in 4 years. Somebody back in each other's good graces. Mm-hmm. Yep. And there's a lot of men in this community who could tell you if they weren't stronger men, they might be victims too. Honey child, Jesus gonna have to take the wheel. People talking, people know what's going on. Don't be fooled. I'm standing with victims in general until I have some reason not to. Because some of these perpetrators be out here wilding out in the streets, groping men, women, children, dog, everything. This person said I wouldn't trust him with my damn dog, much less. Y'all better pay the hell attention. Anywho, sad day in the Cayman Islands when somebody would go after a victim and curse out a victim and carry on with no real reason to do so. You weren't there, right? You know, you can like McKeever Bush all you want. You can like his style of politics all you want, but you were not there. And if you're going to give somebody the benefit of the doubt, I would encourage you to give it to somebody who actually deserves it, and not him. That's all I can tell you. Not on this matter. I don't know what else you might want to give him the benefit of the doubt. If money go missing, you might be like, well, let's give him the benefit of the doubt then. Not when it comes to touching women and sexual assault and that sort of thing. Nope. He can't get the benefit of the doubt from me. I need to see the evidence, yes, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to come to any conclusion before seeing and hearing the evidence about his guilt or innocence. And if somebody deserves the benefit of the doubt, it is not him. This person says McKeever's a damn no good man and should have left long 4 or more elections ago. He got us in this damn mess now on this island. I believe the woman that he did it because he's like a rooster and hen cutting. What? He's like a rooster and hen cutting around with woman. A rooster and hen. I'm not sure I'm too familiar with that analogy. But I know them roosters, they nasty. They be holding on to everything and doing whatever they want to them. Can't trust them either. Siobhan says, just because you can't prove something for a while doesn't mean that the person hasn't or isn't doing it or that they didn't do it. Yes, sir. Same thing they say in the USA with Trump, illegal papers. Illegal papers? What are illegal papers? And Biden, Coke's son. Well, I think everybody knows that Biden's son's on drugs. He just brokered a deal the other day. He's a cokehead. Everybody can say that. That's actually true. And I think everybody can say that Trump also has an issue with women, with groping women. It came out of his own mouth. He says, grab him by the you-know-what, capital P. He don't care. Nothing wrong with that. That's his mentality. Moya says, considering that there's been a history of him inappropriately touching females abroad and the Cayman Islands in the past, does make us question him. So I stand with the victim. You see what I'm saying? Yes. His behavior speaks volumes. So while some people are trying to make this argument that this is somehow some kind of political vendetta, I think they're crazy and it just doesn't make any sense. And I guess they're being told by him, or I don't know why they would say something like that, but it just is illogical and doesn't make any sense and doesn't hold any water as far as I'm concerned. So the other point of interest is he claims he not got no money to pay for his lawyers. Now, this is kind of interesting to me because McKeever Bush is broke. Well, I mean, he's going to be applying for legal aid and we, the people, are going to be paying for his defense. Because you know what this is now, pay attention. Y'all move up to the front of the class and hear what Auntie Sandy can tell you about this situation. When he say he not got no money, they're going to be his lawyers as Mr. Brady. Mr. Brady not handling this case himself. He's bringing in a highfalutin QC from the UK who's going to be charging $100,000, $200,000 for this case. McKeever Bush don't want to go to the bank and get a loan for that. against his house or take it out of his salary and pay it himself. So when the last at the last public hearing, we got to figure out how he's paying for this. That is buttering y'all up to come to the understanding that he's going to be applying for legal aid. And given the category of the offense, there's a presumption in his favor that he might be entitled to it, but they're going to be asking him all kind of financial questions, and they better review that application carefully in terms of bills and is your house mortgage free and how much money you make and blah, 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 and this and that. So he's going to try to apply for legal aid. What a hot mess. Now, you know, something seems a little bit wrong there, honey child. McKeeva Bush is going to apply for legal aid so that we, the people, are going to pay for his defense. Well, I know if it's me, I got to apply for legal aid because I not got no money. But McKeeva Bush, an MP double dipping in his pension, house in West Bay, making at least $10,000 plus a month, ain't got no money. Wow. They better try and put him on some kind of payment plan. So I don't know. Leroy says, wow, QC. Well, now it's KC. My apologies. The queen is no longer with us. May she rest in peace. So now it's KC. Yes, they got to bring in the big boys from overseas. They got to find them some highfalutin KC in London to come and argue all kind of intricate details around this case. And what they normally try to do is attack the victims and discredit the victims. So if the victim is listening this morning, girl, you better be ready, because they're going to try to tear you apart. If he ever gave you money in the past, they're going to say, oh, well, Mr. Bush was giving you money because you were actually part of his concubine and you were a willing participant, weren't you? Girl, just be ready for the realities of what will happen when you take the stand, because you have to take the stand. And he's going to ensure that it's a jury trial so that you take the stand in front of people in this community. And by then, everybody will know who you are. That is how certain people do things when they go to court. That's why they want a jury. They're putting you under pressure, but if what you say happened to you, you got to find the strength to hold your ground and to stand firm. You might need some counseling to work your way through it. Do what you got to do, girl. If he did this to you, don't let him get away. 24 years was a long time. Let's put a stop to it, because many more people might have become victims in those 22 years. We don't even know. Put a stop to it. Leroy says someone's going to try to look penniless. Well, he already looking broke down like Harvey Weinstein with his little walking stick, which we all know is a bunch of cockamamie. People have said to him, McKeeva, what are you doing with that old walking stick? You know, you don't need that. And he said, yeah, you know, you're right. And he threw it down. The good Lord not pleased with your behavior, sir. He gonna strike you down, you know. You better try and behave, faking that you need a walking stick. And when people say, but Mac, you don't need that walking stick, try and put that down. Yeah, you're right. You know, let me just throw it here in the corner. Jeez, I'm peace, Kimanian, y'all are something else. Some days I say to y'all are something else. So Phineas says he's gonna have to pay one of those, sell off one of those houses to pay the lawyers. Well, I don't know. He got condos and stuff like that, somewhere about. So, I mean, I think you might have to dig deep to see where the money is. But I, for one, don't believe that he broke. I'm just saying. I can't believe that. Oh, so Phineas says, Sandy, you killing me this morning. Marshall says he don't have no money. He's been a politician since Jesus was a baby. He's also double dipping in his pension. What is he doing with all the money? Well, we know he likes to gamble and drink. But geez, I'm peace. You can't gamble and drink all that money out. Oh, yeah. Someone says he sold condos at the Ritz-Carlton. Doesn't he actually own a condo at the Ritz? Doesn't he have one of them fancy units there? You better look your realtor and sell that and pay your legal fees. Another person says, Sandra, McKeeva, no money. And let me do this in my best East End voice. Sandra. I know this will sound right. Where's Graham Rankin? We need him now. Call in. Graham can be like, Sandra, McKeever not got no money, and he been in there for 30 years. Come on now. This is what you call a proper mess. All that money he was getting from Ritz-Carlton sales. He better go and try and find that money. Cha. Yes, sir. Another person is another Caymanian. She's a proper speaking Caymanian. She's Sandy. He owns a Ritz condo. Yes. Tell him he better go find that money and pay that, you know. Oh God. I'm doing Caymanian voices today. Let me see if I can do one more. Oh yeah, this one good. Oh, honey child. Hold on now. This is so McKeever saying that he don't have no money. Tell him that's that same taxi van he was selling and got thousands of dollars from that poor West Bay woman. He must sell it and give her back that almost $10,000 she paid. And he took the van back. But if it was me, I would have beat that man so hard. Lord have mercy. Well, you see that story is now. He took $10,000 from a woman for taxi van. And what happened to the taxi van? Oh my God. This person said she would have beat him. Yes, sir. What a mess. Hot mess. No, sir. This person said that's exactly what's going to happen. We will pay. Oh yeah, here's another one now. This is a Savanian, a little country boy, a little country bumpkin. Well, Trump grabs them by the front and McKeever grabs any sex by the rump. Lord Jesus, let me think about that one. No, sir. What a mess. Siobhan says LMAO. This is where it's at this morning. Good morning, Miss Brenda, the beautiful Miss Brenda in the house. She says, absolutely, you're right. Cameron says, that's how you think Caymanians talk, or what? I'm not even going to pretend like I can be getting the accents right, but all right, here's another one. Sandy, what? McKeever said he not got no money? Child, you better make sure you can verify that with his Swiss bank account. Swiss bank account? Lord have mercy. Another person says the majority of the population would support him in his wrongs, politics. Good morning. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. Am I right by saying that? Yes, he's innocent until proven guilty. What I'm saying is when it comes to giving people the benefit of the doubt in the court of public opinion, this is not a court of law, sir. This is a court of public opinion. I am not giving him the benefit of the doubt. There's too many stories swirling around this man and too many victims who've come forward over the years. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying a court of law. Of course he's innocent until proven guilty. And that burden is on the DPP's office. And I hope they got their ducks in a row. I'm saying in the court of public opinion, when people want to be sending around voice notes, naming victims and going on, right? About how the victim, I don't trust them. I'm not going to believe her. Why aren't you not believing her and believing him? Because that's what you're saying by extension. I'm saying in the court of public opinion, I'm not giving him no benefit of the doubt. Strong Will says, what about the Brackers? Oh, Lord. Man, I know about them, you know, they kind of different still. How Brackers? Let me think about the Bracker accent now. I don't know. That one I can't even fathom. And in Brackers, well, where's Curtis? Make Curtis call in and read a thing like a Bracker. Oh, Siobhan says, wait a minute. Swiss bank accounts and he not got no money? Yes, sir. I tell you what. Cameron said, give us an East End accident. That is when I need Graham to call in. He the best. He a East Ender. Yeah, my dear child. Anyway, I just wanted to bring y'all up to speed on those developments. That's what was said the last time he was in court, that they have to go about finding some money for this man. I was so shocked. I was like, finding money? I'm like, what the heck? What do you mean finding money? Go to your bank account. You'll find it right there. I'm not quite sure what the problem is. He claimed he not got no money. So he say, honey child. Val says, I hear Caymanian white children from generational white families speaking like they're from the US. Try stop making fun of the Caymanian accent. Why? That's our accent. We can make fun of it if we want. I'm not making fun of the accent. I'm just reading the comments in the accent. I love it. Why? What? Val, I think you're getting the wrong message here today, honey Jill. I love me a Caymanian accent. I'm not saying that I'm actually the best at it, for the record. But I don't know about no Caymanian children. When they go to America, they're not as bad as some other nationalities who go for the weekend, come back speaking like a proper American. Hello, I just went to the UK for 1 week and I've already got a UK accent. And same thing with the US. Well, my dear, oh my darling. No, that's the wrong accent. Hold on. Let me find my Tampa accent back. Hold on now. Good morning, sir. Yes. My name is Sandy, and I'm down from Riverview area. Do you know where Riverview is in Tampa? Yes, that's right in the country. That's us, country bumpkins. I'll be honest with you, Val. Most Caymanians kind of hold on to that accent more than you think. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I love it. Siobhan says, I can't with people. Lord, these people. Brian, welcome. I guess he's still in police custody. Again, shocking that he ran the man over and then went and kicked him while he was. That gives a whole. Thank you, Miss Brenda, for the clarification of who she was commenting to. That gives a whole new definition of kicking a man while he's down. My God. So listen, y'all heard me that they were changing the decals, pulling off decals and whatever off the cars, still trying to be incognito doing deliveries. I said, listen, they're trying to liquidate assets, hide money, shift money around, change stuff up in the business structure. Y'all, the family needs to get to lawyer ASAP to prevent all this from happening. So I reached out to, look at Amazon telling me there's a low price offer on an item that you have looked at on Amazon. Amazon knows a thing or two about getting me to spend more money, honey Jill. Stop it. So anyway, I spoke to the family and I said, look, this guy's trying to liquidate assets, blah, 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 blah. They're like, we don't even know what that means. I said, okay, that's okay. This is how people take advantage of you when you don't know. I said, you don't know what that means, but lawyers know what that means. Go and call TIS, see what they can do, because this is a wrongful death suit, right? Get a freeze order in place, freeze that man's assets. No changes can be made to the company. The wife can't all of a sudden pretend like she owns the company, blah, blah, blah. Get in there and lock it down. That man left behind 2 young children that should be taken care of. And Brian and his family can have the burden of doing so. Scott says that the mental health facility still has all the lead jobs posted. They're nowhere near ready. Well, being ready in terms of the physical, like, here's the key, ribbon cutting, doesn't mean that the facility, I think we talked about this on Tuesday, doesn't mean that the facility is going to be ready to take customers. Lavana says, everything is a problem. Lord have mercy. We are who we are. A little laughter is good. I know y'all do have to lighten up, but I don't think Val comes on too often, so he might not get the humor of the program. Lord have mercy. He says, I think you mean Lord have mercy. Look, Val, don't be a troll. We don't like trolls on here. You know how serious life is? Everybody's stressed out about this, that, and the next thing. A little bit of laughter is good for the soul, honey child. And there's nothing better than self-deprecating laughter. Make fun of yourself. I'm a Caymanian. Let's make fun of Caymanians for a little bit. Let's laugh at our accent, whatever. And we still think it's like the most amazing accent in the world. So unique. I remember, I'm going to give you all a little story now. Simmer down, class. Simmer down. It's story time. I feel like telling y'all, gather around in the story time circle. Auntie Sandy got a story for you. So y'all know I grew up in the States. Let me put up my little microphones here. Make everything look good. So I was at USF, lived in the States for at that point 10 plus years. And I had my first, as an adult, my first puppy. His name was Oscar. This is my dog, not my aunt's dog, not anybody else's dog. I went and picked up this little puppy out of the litter, rescued it from under a house with all these other dogs. I'm like, this is going to be my dog, and I'm going to name him Oscar. All right. So I'm outside now walking Oscar. And I had a neighbor who they happened to have been gay. This is back in the 90s, so that was unusual, And so another neighbor, being, homophobic, had assaulted this guy. I can't remember exactly what he did to him, whether he just pushed him or hit him or whatever. So then he started to make up some cockamamie story about how, it was an accident. He didn't really assault the guy, that my dog had gotten out or away or something, and he was trying to go into the car to rescue my dog. I said, hold on a second, sir. You're not going to mix me and my dog Oscar up in your lies. I'm supporting these men being whoever they are and living their best life. And what you did was homophobic. You shouldn't have touched a man. You shouldn't have pushed him or hit him or whatever the heck you did. And now you're making it worse because you're trying to mix up me and your dog in your lies. And we have no part of that. We're going to tell the police the true story. I'm like, officer, that I got nothing to do with us. My dog would not have been under no car. This is my baby. And I'm not letting him go like that. So I said, this man is lying. Believe the other man when he tell you he assaulted him. And he only did it because he's homophobic and he's a horrible person. All right. So next day now I'm outside walking my dog and I see this beautiful lady, nice flowing hair, come outside and I hear her. I think she actually spoke directly to me and she said, hi, good morning or good afternoon or whatever. How are you? Something like that. And I said, oh my God, you are a Caymanian? I hadn't seen a Caymanian in a minute. I'm like, you're a Caymanian? And she's like, how do you know that? I said, oh my God, how do I know that? Y'all have the most amazing, unique accent in the world. You can't miss a Caymanian with that accent. I'm like, you're from the Cayman Islands? She's like, yes. What's your name? Who are you? It was Cassandra Powell. They're from their mommy from Breakers area. So Andrea Fatmo is her sister. This is Cassandra. Former Miss Cayman, by the way. Beautiful girl. I think she was in university, so I think she wasn't Miss Cayman yet. I think she came back after I became me. But yeah, that accent every time and listen, and not often used to hear it back in those days in Tampa. But when I did hear it, I was like, oh my God, I know where you're from. And Caymanians are always like, how do you know where I'm from? I'm like, huh? That accent is so unique. Fast forward to 1996, 1997. They had that storm in Honduras. And I was in Cayman. I was back in Cayman then. I was watching the news. And this was Hurricane Mitch, I think, that devastated Honduras, killed 20,000 people. It was horrible. So they were interviewing some people in some little island in the Bay Islands. I can't remember exactly which one, but I remember at the time thinking, I've never even heard of these people. Child, when they opened up their mouth and they spoke, I was flabbergasted. Are they Caymanians? They sound just like us. I have never heard a non-Caymanian, here, grassroots, speaking just like us until I heard those people from the Bay Islands. The same tone, the same, what they call cadence, speed, everything. They sounded just like a Caymanian. And I was like, wow, I was blown away. I'm like, who are these people? They must be us. And lo and behold, Hurricane Mitch was 1998. Well, I think it was Hurricane Mitch. So lo and behold, they're our people. They're connected to us, of course. Bay Islanders. But it was like a specific island. I can't remember. Would it have been Banaka? I'm not sure exactly which one, but I was like, whoa, they sound just like Caymanians for real. I don't know who these people is, but they definitely are people. The accent was exactly the same. It was so weird. Guanaja. You think it was Guanaja? I don't know. I don't know which one. Guanaja and Banaka is the same thing, right? The people there call it Banaka and we call it, outside people call it Guanaja. I don't know. But child, trust me. Sounded just like Caymanians. And Nancy, says Jonathan. Morning, Jonathan. Leroy says where all those mic comes from. That is called, Leroy, a visual effect. So much we can do here on the program, you know. All right. So it might have been Banaka. I don't know. But anyway, they sound just like us. That's story time, folks. So listen, tomorrow is Friday already. It went by so quickly. CMR working on a few things for you. Don't forget, if you got someone you want us to interview for Cayman Voices, give me a dingle, WhatsApp me, email me, whatever. Send me a message. We're going to hook it up. Our cooking show, still in the works. Book club, still in the works. We need to get these things rolling. And I'm actually meeting with someone who we got something new and different coming. So I'm going to hold off because I haven't decided yet, but I've got a business meeting today. So if you see me out having lunch, it's a business lunch. This is what we do in the real world. Carla, we work. We earn our coins honestly. Get on an honest hustle. So I'm meeting with some potential business people today. And if it works out, I'll tell y'all what it's all about in due course. This person says, I say this to say that after hearing about it on your show, I spoke to many people and most responded that he is loved, talking about McKeevan now. And that is why it took so many years for this to resurface. Yeah, well, y'all need to know what you're loving, child. Don't love badness and don't love the wrong kind of people. All right, my beautiful people. I thank all of you. Louise says the grandfathers from Banaka are all Caymanian. Siobhan says she's excited about the book club. I got to work on that. We're also going to be doing a beautification campaign coming here shortly as well. So I'm super excited about that. What? Brenda says she don't know any Honduran. It sounds like a Caymanian. Oh my gosh, excuse me. They exist. I'm telling you, after that storm, I heard them on the TV. I saw him and heard him, and I was shocked. Strong Will says, I hope it's not George. Try and behave yourself. I gotta take that phone away from you. Cameron says, yeah, George still waiting on a lunch meeting. He gonna wait till the cows come home because that is not happening. Okay, good people. Y'all behave. Got Andrea up in here laughing. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Be blessed, not stressed. Take care.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels and visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.